Hello and welcome everybody back once again to the grand finals of the GT4 Rookies and GT4 Open Summer Series here at TRACKILICIOUS. I'm your host tonight, Mike Nause, and joined with me tonight is none other than Carson Kass. Carson, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mike, and I'm very, very excited to see the vindication at Valencia tonight. We've got an excellent battle going on right at 9:30 Eastern. Right after these rookies, though, we've got plenty of rookie madness to come, and honestly, Mike, I think here at Valencia, it's a track that not a lot of these racers have been on before. I think it's a very unpopular track, very underrated track, if you will, and I think we're going to have a lot of rookie mayhem tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is, and an underrated track at that. 2.4 miles, 4.0 kilometers, a track founded back in 1999, one of the more recent circuits in history, located in Valencia, Spain. It's not quite a decider in the desert, although kind of. It's a bit of a dry climate, not quite the desert that Abu Dhabi served us for the little thumbnail that we see below us. 14 corners, 5 to the right and 9 to the left, with 61 feet or 18.5 meters of elevation. And on that, Carson, these drivers tackling a circuit that's, well, made for motorcycles. Very flat, low curbs, and in these GT4 cars, they're going to pretty much make easy work when it comes to that, and track limits are going to be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we'll see, like we did last night at Misano, just that track going to be an enemy for these drivers. And obviously, I think potentially tonight in the GT4 Open, it's going to be raining, so we'll have the same problem that we had at Valencia. But the rookies won't have that problem. It'll be on their own accord on a dry track. As always, the rookies have fixed weather systems, so I guess that can't really impact their race, and they can just work on their racecraft without the fear of thunder and hail coming for them.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we pride ourselves on. The rookies, they have enough to worry about in terms of just getting their racecraft and their legs under their feet, and it's about learning how to walk before you can learn how to run sometimes, and that is what we always promote for the Rookie League that we are going to be jumping into very, very shortly. Before that, though, Carson, do you want to take us through our calendar that we have here tonight? Well, not tonight. Wait. Well, I guess, you know what, now that I think about it, let me just take us through it because it's going to take like 5 seconds. We have the rookies and the Open coming to a close. That's going to be done and dusted. Street Stock's done and dusted. Keep an eye on the Discord for the announcements very soon in the future. We have the West Coast also going to be finishing up this week with the Community World Challenge at the end of this month, and the GT3s are going to be finishing up at Spa. So there really isn't much left for this summer season. However, keep an eye on the Discords. ! Discord, we are very shortly going to be having our announcements, and honestly, I'm surprised they haven't been made just yet. I know Eric has a lot of them mostly ironed out. I think he's just been a little bit busy lately trying to figure that out. And of course, a big thank you to all of our V12 Exotic sponsors, as well as our V8 Muscle, Inline 4, and all of our donors. And of course, everybody that is here in chat tonight. Welcome along, everybody. Adam Strange, Logan Sargent, Fanboy, Stream Espresso, as well as everybody else joining us on the YouTube side of things, as we are live over on YouTube now. We got Pat Awards #2 fan, as well as Carson in chat. So if you want to join them, head on over to discuss whatever the YouTube chat is going to be discussing. Who knows what the reins will take in that one, but it is available with closed captioning and closed captioning, as well as less ads allegedly, but I'm not too sure about that. But we appreciate you sticking around for the ads because it does help pay the bills.
Absolutely. And Pat Award fan, I've not listened to that, as well as I have another question in Twitch chat tonight. Carson, which Mario Kart track is the best? I think my personal favorite is Yoshi Circuit. I think it's a pretty creative track layout. It's literally just Yoshi, and it turns out to be honestly one of the best tracks in the game. And I don't even understand why. You've got the beautiful S's along the back section there in Sector 3. That turns into a very sharp right hairpin into the last long left-hander into tight right-hander. That ends the circuit there. Beautiful track. Wish I could see it in ACC.
That would be incredible. And now we're talking about the original DS game, right? Where you drive over the falls or over the bridge. You have the right or left options. Or are we talking, is this a later Mario Kart?
This is Mario Kart 8, Mike. Yoshi Circuit. I know what you're thinking about. Yoshi Falls. Yoshi Circuit is a circuit shaped like Yoshi.
Well, Yoshi Falls was my favorite track back in the original DS. So,
no, that's a really good track. I will give you that one. I was a big Waluigi pinball guy, despite it probably being overrated.
That was actually a great track as well. And Waluigi's Mountain, was that a different game though? Anyways, Carson, enough about the Mario Kart talk. Why don't we get on down into the Assetto Corsa Competizione, the game or the simulator that we are here to watch here tonight. The qualifying is underway, and the black screen of anticipation will be gone momentarily. And there is our drivers out on the field. We have Adriano Moro currently running in P2. However, he's looking to change this this up very quickly. That's going to be deep. That's one of those corners that's easy to invalidate on. He managed, though, to keep it between the mayo and the mustard for now. Through the final corner, though, long, sweeping left-hander, trying to get the car to straighten up, get on the throttle as early as possible. Nacho Moro here looking potentially at a pole position, heading now to the line, 4/10 off the mark. Is it going to be enough? No, not quite. It is going to be a 2/10 difference from Moriko Yatanashi.
Yeah, Mike, and you mentioned that it is a simulator and not a racing game like Mario Kart is or an arcade game, but I think you're going to see just as many spins out here tonight with these rookies. It can be very, very difficult. Yatanashi with a very, very good time in the odds section, which are first, as we all have been all season. It's the odds or evens first, and then the other section of numbers second. Odds first for the final week tonight, 11 minutes, 51 seconds. Probably the last lap if you're going to the line right now.
Yep, for these odd-plated drivers, most certainly will be, although it is a shorter lap at Valencia to keep in mind. It's only a 1:43. Well, actually, it's quite a long lap now that I think about it. It's a short track with a long lap. There's a lot of twisty bits. You're not really going to be, well, not going to have much time to think when it comes to the middle sectors. The start-finish straight is pretty much going to be it. In fact, why don't we go for an onboard here, as Dr. Porkchop is going to be one of the next drivers to cross the line. And let's get a little bit of a tour around Valencia here to see.
Yeah, and what you're going to see right here is a very, very dangerous turn one. He hits the turnstile there, goes up to P3, a podium start for him right now in terms of the odds, not the evens. But this turn right here is going to be really, really dangerous as he pulls along to the side. Does not want to set another lap despite having the ability to. Probably didn't have enough fuel for the setup. We'll jump on board with Miguel Garzon instead.
Yeah, let's try this again. Miguel, one of the newer drivers to the rookies. It's Cicerone. Is that Cicerone? The Portuguese driver is a little bit deep there and manages to keep it valid. The green is going to be the limit, so you are able to extend just slightly, but you do have to be very, very careful. And again, we're going to be taking that deep route. This certainly isn't going to be a pole position lap, Carson.
No. And to be very frank with you, it's not enough to probably beat Frank's ahead. The 73 driver is going to be just 3/10 ahead, and I think that 3/10 is not going to come about in this lap. But Miguel still got plenty of time to pick up here in the section, but as you're seeing here, going to pick up rubber instead. Jump back to the bits. 10:05. All the even numbers will pull out right now.
And Moriko even surprised with their time, a 40.4. Well, yeah, 40.6. Wait, 40.4. Huh? Why is my ACC TV lying to me?
Evil ACC TV, of course.
Do you see that as well?
Mine isn't opening because the Assetto Corsa crashed when I opened it.
Oh, no.
I'm back.
Either
though.
way.
It's almost there.
Jeff Franks looking to maybe change up his positions in starting order. Currently running at 11th. He is 1 second up on his time, but has the middle sector still to contend with, or rather just sector 3 ahead.
Yeah, if he managed to keep on this pace, he put himself right about P5 with Olivaria in the 11th car, but he's got a ton of pace he can pick up throughout the section. I assume he's clearly lost it in this section over here, Mike, or rather in that first section. So maybe just nail the lap that you had previously and you're already up into the top 5, but he'll be last of the odds to come to the line. And very, very talented all season. Has just been the bane of his own mistakes, truly. And it's very, very tough. But one of those guys that obviously runs the series first off, but has a lot of section there. As I believe, did that just invalidate his lap there?
Nope. Managed to keep it valid still, and now to the line is a big improvement up into P5. 1.5 seconds.
Just like I said, chat, I'm actually the mathematician, if you will, but the Love Wins Racing car will go P5. The Spady Bud comes to the line last on a valid lap, or invalid lap rather, just pulls off to the side there, and it'll be curtains for them. But the first driver out on a hot lap will be Noah Johnson, I believe, or rather, does he have a hot lapper behind him? It's gray on the track?
This is his out lap currently. Just beginning the hot lap now. Comes around the final corner, punches the throttle down the long start-finish straight here at Valencia. That first corner going to be a decent overtaking opportunity. However, it is 90 degrees and it's very, very fast. It'll be down to really the slipstream having to make the overtake before we reach the braking zone. And you can see right there the amount of momentum that you have to carry in. Run wide there, carry the speed as there's another left-hander coming up, and you want to maximize your entry here as it's going to be a bit of a double back here. You can see very, very long long, waiting to get onto the throttle. Could have potentially got on it slightly earlier there. Hits the apex through the sort of not-so corner, and now into that horseshoe. Oh, that's not quite so tidy. In fact, that is going to be invalid.
Yeah, and going back to that turn one, if I'm going to talk about strategy a little bit here on that opening lap, it's not going to be too fun if you're Moriko Yatanashi, who did just put down a legendary lap for themselves, 2/10 above anybody else in the field so far, but it's not going to be a fun one. This is probably one of the worst turn ones, if not as bad as Monza, if it goes bad. It's a very fast one that can go very, very wrong quick, and if I'm Yatanashi on that inside line, it's gonna be a gamble here. You can either slow down and keep it controlled, keep it as tight as you can, and not deal with anybody on the outside line. But if I'm on the outside line, I'm just gonna send it completely and use one of my speed tokens to just get that extra exit and beat it here. To be honest with you.
Yeah, and we'll see how the drivers do opt to contend with it. Moriko offering their pole position up to the highest bidder, but it seems that nobody is accepting that right now. We'll see, though. Jacob Curtis in the Fear Nothing Moto Ginetta out on track. A very interesting choice, but I gotta say, maybe a good one for Valencia. The very nice livery as well, the red and black, complementing the Ginetta quite well, but that is a very loose rear end through the Sector 3.
Yeah, not very planted there, and I'm going to assume it's actually going to be quite good here. Surprised to see Jaeger Karu not running it, based on the decisions earlier in the season to run it, but, I mean, different cars for everybody else around here, and the Mercedes GT4 has been one of the most dominant cars all season for very, very good reason. Very, very planted. Very, very fast, but despite that loose exit, Jacob Curtis 4th overall in the 68 machine.
Yeah, not terrible. Definitely a bit more time on the board. A good banker lap. That is going to be an invalid lap. And certainly a perfect example of what not to do, but that's what it is. I mean, to be honest, I gotta say, credit where credit's due for Jacob there. He got a banker in, a very solid banker at that, and then went and pushed the limits the next lap. And unfortunately, he found the limits, but that just means he goes back to pit lane. He's gonna put a new setup on there, change things just slightly, and then end up going and trying to tackle it once more.
Yeah, and a lot less even drivers I've noticed. I think a thing for the GT4 drivers, because it's the same thing in the Open for whatever reason I've noticed. A lot of odd drivers, and not saying that they're odd, they just tend to pick odd numbers. Only 4 drivers out here, or rather 6 drivers out here, who were an even lap, or even number of cars. As we get a livery deep dive from Fiddy, we'll jump on that later. I know we definitely owe you a few, because you redeem them at inopportune times, or I forget, and that's typically the only 2 options for you, and I apologize for that.
Noah Johnson here, running out of opportunities. It's going to come down to the wire for him. Another invalid lap this time around, and he needs to gather everything together. The lap time was a 142.1 on an invalid lap. That would have been enough to put him in P10. And this time, though, he's going to have to, again, try once more, as there's no time on the board right now, and he's going to have to dial the reins back just slightly, maybe a couple percentage, just to get a lap on the board, as there's going to be a Ginetta exiting pit lane there. I'm not sure if that impeded him, but it certainly would have distracted Noah.
Yeah, and hopefully for Noah here, he can just keep it clean, keep it simple, at least get ahead of everybody else who will not set a time tonight, maybe get ahead of Waldus, who is a bit off the pace, and the 7 drivers who are off pace comparatively to him throughout this section here. The 42 driver has enough pace to get up there, but it's going to be down to just making mistakes, and rather not making mistakes. For this purple and yellow car, very reminiscent of a GT4 Open driver, the Team Grilled Cheese car.
It is. Hard one to forget, the Vamolek Yaiye livery. Either way, we'll be maybe seeing that later on tonight. Hopefully he does show up, and we'll be also seeing, again, the decider between Mason Prochalski and Professor Kanotis. 2 points separating them. The winner between the two will take the championship, and if both of them end up getting punted out and down to a low enough position, Justin Beachley, he's also going to be there to take the championship mathematically.
Yeah, with how things have been going in the GT4 Open, that's completely not out of reason. Well, first of all, both of them picked up drive-thrus last night at Valencia, which has similar problems in the rain. Obviously, the GT4 Open cars are a bit more planted, different to drive, and Pierchowski and Kronotis, I know, honestly, have a bit more pace in the GT4 cars. As Johnson, sliding into that left-hander there. That was not the exit you wanted to see, but kept it valid. So we'll see if he can keep it to the line. But this last turn, a bit weird. Another one of those overtaking opportunities that can go bad very quickly, but uses all the track here. Not a bad lap from Johnson. Curious to see where he ends up.
Yeah, this is going to come to the line here, and it's looking like 142 dead, actually, and that's going to be enough for P9, so pretty much where he would have found himself on those invalid laps. He manages to redeem himself, but now going to try to push the limits slightly more, but he needs to stay within them as well, because he's obviously found track limits a few times already, and he's running out of chances to find them with 2 more laps left tonight, and 4 tenths currently, well, 5 tenths separating him and Adriel Olivaria. He has to find quite a bit of pace if he wants to find P8.
Yeah, nothing to lose here. That was the fastest lap he set, even in all of his invalidated ones. So Noah Johnson just has to push here and give it everything he's got, because that car's the fastest it will be. I assume it's very low on fuel at this point. I'd be very surprised if he's still going to go out for a quality lap with more than 3 laps of fuel. Noah Johnson on his 3rd lap, of course. The 42 car might be headed to the line, but I think you'd rather have that car get towed back to the garage on this one with how little fuel it's got left. But
I'm not sure about that. I don't think he's going to want this car towed to the line. He is going to be wanting this thing. He might be right on terms of the fuel, because right now he is 1.3 seconds up on his lap, and he still has a few more corners to go. We'll certainly see, but it could potentially even be a pole position. We were maybe counting Noah out here a little bit early. Is he going to prove us wrong? As it stands, he needs to find a little bit more time. Into the S's, he chucks it in there with absolute volition. Now, 1 more corner. Has to keep it valid. It's easy to run wide here. You can see he gets all the way to the outside of the track, trying to maximize the minimum speed. Get a slingshot onto the straight. Is this going to be enough? Noah Johnson, his last real attempt here. He's going to probably be out of fuel after this. Isn't going to be able to do it. It's going to be P4.
yeah, and by tow, I meant he was almost out of fuel, and now he's going to have to pull over and get technically towed to the garage at some point here, because I'd be very surprised if that car has the gas to get to the end, but I'm sure Noah Johnson is about to go find out. Very, very fast here. He had pole position there in his grasp, but just couldn't get it. I think he's got that 4 tenths in him. It's just slight mistakes on the car sliding, and I think that is I do not have any gas left in the car.
Yeah, or he just invalidated one of the two. Wasn't improving, found it worthy to park it, and is happy with the time that he managed to put on. We're going to see if Jacob Curtis can maybe dethrone that time. He needs to find only a few thousandths of a second. Is it going to be able to be found here in this middle sector? Right now, he's about dead even with his time.
Yeah, Curtis is going to have really, really big improvements only on the turns, because you're only going to lose to those cars ahead on the straights. It's 4 Aston Martins leading the top 2 rows. Wow, it's a double Aston lockout. That was not on my cards tonight. Scott Sullivan would be very proud. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. I didn't have much to say other than that.
Well, I mean, I think it's a really good point. You mentioned the AMG dominance, and we're not seeing that here tonight. We can see the AMGs, well, they're all clumped together down in the mid-pack. We got 3 of them lined up next to each other, and, well, we're about to see all of the cars lined up 2x2 Noah's Ark formation on the grid here, and starting the countdown for race 1 of 2 here for the rookies. And then after that, of course, we have the GT4 Open.
Really excited for that. Had the chance to speak to both Mason and Chronotis before this at some point in the week, and they're both looking forward to it, and their both plan is to hopefully not get a penalty, but also crash the other one out based on what I've been told. But I don't really think that's the real penalty, but it might happen with how these 2 drivers are if they end up getting 1st and 2nd, which where their pace has been, potentially.
Yeah, we will. We'll see if there is a bit of an Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost sort of rivalry going into this. We will know. We'll see. It'll be down to quali, to be completely honest. This is a track that quali is so important, and Moriko a little bit scared on pole position. You got to dust those nerves off, shake it out before you get into this race, because if you're nervous going into it, your car is going to be nervous, and that is never a recipe for success. You got the Adriano Moro behind hunting, and he is not going to be nice about it. But let's get down here, Carson, and let's meet all of our drivers. And starting us off here at the top is Moriko Yatanashi, the number 53 NTR Top Secret. Lined up here in the Aston Martin. In fact, it's an Aston Martin 1 through 4. Adriano Moro in the 373 lined up in 2nd position here in row 1 for the Limit Road Brazilian driver. Dr. Porkchop in 3rd position for the 71 behind, with Noah Johnson company in P4. In the Muddy Motorsports number 42. Jacob Curtis, we saw at the end there, unfortunately not able to get enough out of the Ginetta to overtake anyone else. He has the pace, but will he be able to put it down into the race? We'll certainly find out. P5 is where he's going to qualify. Mr. Rue, 6th quickest for the time being. Behind him will be Jeff Franks with the number 73 Love Wins Racing. Kyle Heslin, 8th quickest, with the likes of Adriel Olivaria company in 9th. And rounding out your top 10, Seth Lincoln.
Starting your top 11, I would guess, Chase Donnelly in the 11th car, the Bullet, or rather, in the 257 car, the Bullet Racing car will be trailed by the Drew Freiberger Red Hat Racing machine. With behind them, Will Menzer will start in 13th, his highest, I think one of his highest starts of the season. Spady Bud behind them, the number 21 car will be trailed by Miguel Cesaron, the Portuguese driver. I apologize, I definitely butchered that in the AMG, the highest AMG on the grid, or rather the fourth highest AMG on the grid. That was awesome. Ryan Eason in the Rust Belt Racing machine. That 2 car with Harrison Waldis, the 26, starting in 17th. Jaeger Carl will start at 18th with Pedro Artoni, the Brazilian in 19th. But to round out your top 20 will be Brian Menzer. I got Brian Menzer and Will Menzer confused.
All good. As we have father and son out there. We already have a livery deep dive for Spady Bud, but we got the double livery deep dive for Spady Bud. We will certainly get into that. In fact, we'll get into it on the outlap. We got 12 seconds before these drivers take to the circuit. They have 2.4 miles of an outlap ahead of them. It'll be a decently long outlap here tonight. And ahead of them, again, 14 corners, 5 to the right, 9 to the left, and Valencia, a very flat track. And we're going to be having to see the overtakes happen early. However, Carson, we all know you can't win a race on the first corner, but you certainly can lose it. And I think that's absolutely the truth here at Valencia.
Yeah, and you just got to hope that the drivers aren't as tired as me now, because that's just one of those things. You have to be perfect through this first sector. You have to get as much pace as you can out of that car. And if you've been awake the last, 40 out of the last 48 hours, you're not going to have the pace, rather, in your mind to do so. The 53 car, Yatanashi, has been very quick, has put down a bunch of practice, was the quickest in practice. And I have no doubt that even with those nerves, hopefully they can get it off the line. They've got 3 equal machines behind, so it'll just be down to whoever does it best, Mike. And that's the best kind of racing I think you can see is... That's why I love Cup classes, and that's why I love NASCAR and Porsche Cup specifically, is it's all down to the driver typically.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have a fun fact redemption as well. Let's get that really quickly before we get on into it. This track, Valencia, is named after a famous rider named, Ricardo Tormo. That's what the circuit is named after, Circuit Ricardo Tormo. And he is a 2-time motorcycle racing world champion from the Valencia region. And he was named, or the track was named after him to honor and commemorate him. Now we get that livery deep dive too.
Mason, a little bit of the image of Obama putting the medal on himself there. The fastest open time, Mason, was you. Yes, that was you.
Times in the practice server do not matter. It'll only matter when it comes to the argument that happens over the same piece of tarmac tonight.
It's true. For Yatanashi, it mattered, though. Those practice laps did a great job, but one person who was had a very, very great job with Neil Kerbel making this livery. This is based on Bubba Wallace's NASCAR road course spec car. It's got the Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen logo on the side, the McDonald's, obviously, of course. It's a very, very weird car that I did not expect to see in my lifetime, in person, rather. And it's a very, very cool livery that I'm not sure how Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen and McDonald's ever partnered up for, but Spady Bud's rocking it tonight. I know he's a JJK fan. I'm a JJK fan. I just finished it for the second time, to be honest with you. But the 21 car will be hoping to be just as fast, as just as slick as that livery looks, to be honest with you.
And Mason saying that you can intimidate your opponents into quitting. I would maybe hesitate to believe that. Chrono, the problem with Chrono is he doesn't care. So he doesn't get intimidated. That's the thing, is Mason's got the nerves. Either way, drivers lined up. 2x2 Noah's Ark formation as we go get ready to get green here. Morko Yatanashi, first time pole position, lined up alongside the Brazilian Adriano Moro. I'm Mike Nause, joined alongside me tonight is Carson Kass as we approach the board here and get ready to go green, green, green. It's going to be a long drag race down to the 90-degree left-hander, and it's a pretty even start for everybody at the front. Side by side, though, for Noah Johnson as well as Dr. Porkchop. Porkchop on the inside. Gets a tap, though, does Noah Johnson from Mr. Rue. Everybody slotting in, though, fairly nicely into position. Behind that side-by-side is Israel Olivaria is getting overtaken by Jeff Franks. Jeff Franks, in fact, trying to find 2 for 1 here. He isn't going to be able to find it, or is he on the exit? Manages to tighten it up, and Mr. Rue gets overtaken. Contact there as that's going to be Chase Donnelly off. Gets tagged by the Porsche of, I think that was Seth Lincoln. And chaos, a little bit of chaos ensuing here on the first lap, but it continues on here. In fact, that's Seth Lincoln side by side. The Porsche was Kyle Heslin, my apologies, that made that contact.
Yeah, not as bad as I was expecting, but as we go 3 wide into what it was a very narrow turn there, somebody's got to back out, and Heslin does, as Jeff Franks does get that 2-for-1 deal, the special, and he will continue on. That is a very, very good start for him. And above them, that Porsche a little bit quick out of the turns, but not quick enough to beat that Aston Martin. He's got that inside line, but he's going to get blocked by Mr. Rue unless there's contact on the backside. Spady Bud, along with Will Menser, there was something else going on there. I just saw those 2 cars only. Seth Lincoln getting involved as well. Will Menser will come out on top of that group that has crashed. Ahead, Olivaria, the 11 car will chase Rue.
Yeah, and behind that is going to be Kyle Heslin. We saw him getting contact earlier, getting involved there, and that's going to be Jeff Franks, a little bit out of shape. Mr. Rue trying to capitalize onto that immediately. He takes to the outside line, which is an interesting choice. You can see why. The understeer central for the BMW, and that's going to be a send and a half. Kyle Heslin getting his elbows out early here. Needs to be a little bit careful. Adriel Olivaria, though, he isn't going to be caught sleeping. It's going to be the Aston Martin versus the Porsche in a drag race, and we all know who wins that one.
Yeah, Adriel Olivaria there, trying to be the best opportunistic driver he can, but just unfortunately no room on that inside line and no room on that exit. The Aston Martin way quicker, but this is where the Porsche excels. You're going to see him close this gap right here. The 69 car doing everything he can to catch the 11 here, but just not enough punchiness unless he makes a dive on that inside. No, takes the look, but he gets the space. Heslin on that outside line, he's going to be alongside for a moment, but it won't be enough.
Not quite. Coming into the horseshoe corner, it's going to be pretty much nip and tuck for everybody involved here. Very difficult to make an overtake happen unless you make a mistake like that. Kyle Heslin's going to be trying to capitalize. Needs to be careful, though. He's trying to go for every single opportunity, and that can cause disaster. We saw the contact that ensued earlier as a result of that, and we're kind of maybe going to be seeing a repeat here. Kyle Heslin driving at 110% right now. He's going for the overtake onto Adriel Olivaria. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Adriel is not going to hand this position over for free. Kyle Heslin late onto the brakes. He has the inside line. He should have the exit and able to wash Adriel wide here. Gives him the space though, and that's going to allow Adriel to get the drive on exit. And now Will Menser is going to send it to the inside and catch catch Kyle Heslin sleeping at the wheel.
Yeah, Heslin going for the overtake or the switch back there, has to get out of the way. I think he knows Will Menser's going to go on the inside, and he had to turn the wheel a little bit left there, but now he's going to be under threat from a fellow same manufacturer car, the RAR machine of Seth Lincoln behind, who's had some struggles this year with contact. Happened earlier, not quite sure what happened there, but this group was all involved in it. Heslin driving everything he can out of this car, and he might get the better of the GT4 if he can get this toe combined with the punchiness of the Porsche out of the corners. The 69 car towards the line. He's looking to the outside line. Defense from Will Menser, who doesn't really need to have it. He'll go back to the outside line, hopefully for his sake, but maybe the Porsche can capitalize on him not doing that.
Look at him lining up the exit here, trying to capitalize on the mistake of Will Menser, and Will Menser gets tagged off into the gravel. Was there contact? I'm not so sure, to be completely honest. It looked like there might have been. However, I'm not sure that was completely the fault. Let's take a look of the replay here and get a helicam view. So let's see as the... Yeah, there was not contact. I didn't think so. Kyle Heslin there just scaping by the skin of his teeth.
Just aura there, Mike. He got intimidated, like Mason said, and unfortunately just caught him out there. He was really pressuring him there and slid the car out, too much gas, and overcorrected, slammed into the wall, and that'll be the end of, I guess, really high points hopes for Will Menser here, who just slammed to the wall, but not at the end, not for the end of the entire race. We've got one more after this, of course, 20-minute format. Kind of like Wednesdays with no qualifying in between. Qualifying for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, then race for 20 minutes, then race again for 20 minutes. So the second race set on where you finish in the first.
Yeah, Spady Bud here. You can see him trying to take every alternate line possible, trying to make a move onto Seth Lincoln, but Seth not giving him any light of day whatsoever. Pop on the rear wing here of Seth Lincoln, and you can see the lumbering Camaro in the mirror. Not quite as close as I would like to see. Definitely could be pushing it a little bit more, but there's contact up ahead. Dr. Porkchop has spun around, and there's a chicane in the hairpin, and Jeff Franks has found the gravel. Let's go back and take a look. We also have a raid from Keke Motorsports. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome, Raiders. You're joining us at a very eventful time. Let's see what has happened here. This is Adriel Olivaria that I have clicked on that I want to be... okay, there's Dr. Porkchop. Where did Dr. Porkchop... Okay, you gotta love the replays sometimes, chat.
I think it was an accident with Franks there. Yeah. I think they came together on the outside line. One tried to take the inside line on the other. It did not go well for both of them. I think it was Franks on the outside line there. A bit of a send from Porkchop is what I would guess based on context clues, but I didn't actually see what happened. So
Yeah, we got a bit of a knife fight in a phone booth running up here for P3 and P5 for that matter. Jacob Curtis trying to make a move on to Noah Johnson, finding any weaknesses. We see the strength of that Janetta in the middle sector. It's very, very nimble, and he's trying to make a move now to the inside, or at least trying to keep Dr. Porkchop honest and try to keep him defensive. Noah Johnson in the Aston Martin. It's 3 Aston Martins now running in the top 3. It was 4 in the top 4. However, we just saw or rather didn't quite see what had happened.
Yeah, and that Janetta is absolutely slamming down on the section there. He's got that throttle to the floor every time he gets out of the corner faster than anybody else in the section, because that Janetta has extra downforce, and that's what he's using to his advantage. But at this section here, he's going to start losing his advantage. Adriel Olivaria, though, trying to get his positions back here. The 11 car chasing Rue. He's got faster pace in terms of qualifying, but race pace is its own thing. You don't race the race on paper, or rather the qualifying times on paper. It's an entirely different format here, it feels like. Olivaria, though, going to have a really good run here on Rue ahead.
Yeah, he's going to be trying at least. Olivaria a little bit far back, though, to make anything happen realistically. He needs a miracle if he wants to send it. He's about 1.5 miles back. Mr. Rue, though, thinking about it onto Curtis, but again, it's just too much of a gap right now. I think these drivers are fairly content with each other. The same cannot be said with Spady Bud getting by Seth Lincoln. That was a matter of time coming. However, Seth Lincoln is going to get it right back. Spady Bud goes deep, side by side on exit. Seth Lincoln's going to have the inside line and the favorable one at that. Spady Bud with marbles on the tires, and now even more. That's going to allow Dr. Porkchop alongside, and he gets the position for free. That is very unfortunate for Spady Bud. Oh my goodness, I thought he was torpedoing there for a moment.
Yeah, that Seth Lincoln there just did not really did not give either of them enough room. He gave Spady the squeeze, should have just taken the better line there, and that's what happened there. He lost his position almost, but Spady was ended up being the non-benefit there. Jaeger Karu, though, with a massive run here on Drew Freiberger. Never mind, my eyes played tricks on me there. The Red Hat Racing Machine will stay ahead for now.
Or will they? Let's see, as they're trying to capitalize on the battling ahead, and there's contact, unfortunately, and that's going to be Spady Bud spinning around. He gets it onto the throttle quickly, but Dr. Porkchop and Spady Bud have come together here on lap 4. Let's go back and take a look at that one. Catch a replay, and let's see what had happened. Spady Bud sends it from downtown, and Dr. Porkchop, well, not obliged to leave the space, as that was not Spady's quarter.
Yeah, he tried to get it slowed down there, but just slithered right into that rear quarter panel and cost them both some time there. Not too bad for Porkchop, I believe, who was... Oh, no, I think he went off massively there, didn't he?
We're side by side, though, right now with Idriel Olivaria and Mr. Rue. Mr. Rue to the outside right now. Idriel trying to hold on, and he does manage it, but that's going to send him deep. We're going to see a repeat pretty much of what we just saw. Side by side, the BMW has the inside line, but he backs out early. I know there was a comment... Oh, okay, proved me wrong. Never mind, it just proved me wrong before I even say what I was about to say. Mr. Rue, the passive driving pays off, or does it? Idriel Olivaria will have the inside line for the horseshoe, and I think he'll be able to hold it off here.
Yeah, it's a thing that we mentioned earlier. The conservative driving of Rue can work against him in some sections, but like this, it might work towards him. If you've got a driver like Olivaria who's already picked up some damage, you're going to need to make the overtake on him here. He's slower than you, and I think Rue knows that, flashing him in the headlights, but he's just got to be a bit more aggressive here. That's like the one thing I think Mr. Rue is missing, truly, in that racecraft, is the ability to go aggressive and go conservative at the same time.
Yeah,
or rather, switch on the fly. You don't want to do both at the same time.
No, but you're also 100% right, and it's just a talent that he has to learn throughout time, and he puts a lot of hot laps in, he puts a lot of time in the track, but overall putting in the track, or the laps in racing, is a completely different beast, and that's what I think he's just having to master and hone his craft in the race versus in just in the hot lap sessions, and he's doing a great job of it, running in 6th position right now, trying to gain a bit more. He's had some P2 finishes in the past. However, the results are what matters in race 2, and Jaeger Karu and Drew Freiberger, look at this, side by side for the 2 AMGs.
Yeah, no, Karu will be singing a sea shanty there. No, he will not. That's a poor exit for him, and he's got 2 cars catching up, but I think the Red Hat Motorsport Mercedes there is going to be a bit more concerned with that Aston Martin. They go massively wide. Go from alongside the Aston Martin to nearly alongside Karu to back alongside that pastel blue Aston Martin. They'll go on a drag race to turn 1, Mike.
Yeah, this is a bit of back and forth right now as they try to hand each other whatever they can. Side by side, though, into turn 1, Dr. Porkchop will have the inside line. Drew Freiberger on the out. It's a late send from the AMG. He's going to manage to capitalize on the apex as well. What a defense from Drew Freiberger on that one as well. I got to say, Dr. Porkchop being conservative and backing out. But to be fair, that was quite the commanding defense, and we're going to be needing to see that as well from Idriel Olivadia as Kyle Heslin getting involved there. I think had a little bit of contact with Mr. Rue. They're going to rejoin pretty much side by side. Mr. Rue backs out. Kyle Heslin is looking like he's seeing a bit of red right now and trying to make every move possible onto Idriel Olivadia.
Yeah, I think Heslin is the opposite problem of Mr. Rue. I don't think he can turn that switch off. All he sees is red, and rather all he sees is green, because that track is anything but dangerous to him. Those other cars sometimes just feel like an obstacle to him in the next place, and he treats it like that. And I understand it. He's yet to get a penalty for it, or more than one penalty for it. So, I mean, race the way you are if the stewards aren't going to punish you. But I will remind everybody to, even if it's the smallest contact, maybe go look at your incidents, maybe report them if you want to hold drivers to higher standards in other sections. Heslin's one of those drivers who I think maybe has missed out on a few in terms of the stewards. But Mr. Rue on that inside line, going aggressive here. The 205 car alongside into the final turn knows this is one of his few opportunities. He's got to beat the Porsche in a drag race. It'll be tough in the beginning, but he'll have the overall benefit. But the BMW doesn't get up to speed like the Porsche does.
Yeah, and this should be pretty much sealed for Mr. Rue at this point. And that wasn't the camera angle I wanted to hit, but it was a decent one at that. We're going to see it into the braking zone, and Mr. Rue there, he commands the apex as we reach corner entry there. And we're going to be seeing Kyle Heslin trying to get in the mirrors again, but this is just that very aggressive posture that Kyle continuously takes. Just not backing down, kind of like one of those little bull sharks, and with a little bit of, you throw some chum in the water, I think.
Yeah, and it's worked very, very well for him at times, because Heslin will go fake down the inside, then people will give him the room and he'll just take his spot. It's a mental game Heslin plays, and it's a very, very tough one to defend against. Mr. Rue, though, doing everything he can, just taking the racing line here. Heslin, again, aggressive posturing, left and right, all around the track, and Rue leaves him the space on what was essentially a fake down the inside, and he just gets alongside in this section, and he's going to be forced to leave space for him again through the section here.
Now, Mr. Rue, though, he capitalizes it. He gets sent on, though, by Kyle, and just squeezes in the Porsche. Such a small car, but you can see there he got onto the grass slightly, compromised his run, and Mr. Rue manages to defend it for now. But this is going to be getting tiring. If you're Mr. Rue, you're saying, when is enough going to be enough here? Something is going to give. We have a boiling pot situation on our hands.
Yeah, and Heslin's one of those drivers who's just not going to go away. He will not fade out of your mirrors, and I do really like his aggressive posturing there. It's a bit too aggressive into the turn entry. There's Franks. Goes off, doesn't lose a position, losing some time to the cars ahead, who he was already trailing by 2 seconds. But Heslin's aggressive posture there, it really works. It can work. If you're making a driver confused and wonder what they're going to have to do next to defend you when you're not even going to attack, making them take a worse line, it's a specialty. And Heslin is, he's really cooking. He's a bit of a pressure cooker out here instead of a crock pot, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, to be completely honest. We also have a bit of a situation back here with Jaeger Karu making a move on to Chase Donnelly. Down to the inside here, Chase Donnelly going for the defense. Jaeger Karu isn't able to make it stick on the immediate send, but the switchback attempt's going to allow him the inside line for turn 2. Can he get late enough onto the brakes? It's AMG versus AMG, the equal machinery you can see there. Not going to happen. Jaeger could have maybe made a send there, but on the inside, you have to brake slightly earlier than the driver on the out, and there was just no way that that overtake was happening. Although we see it again, Jaeger Karu trying there with a much better run. The 257 dive bombs the inside for coverage there. I'm not sure what that was about. That really compromised his run, though, and allowed Jaeger Karu to kind of take that position for free. I'm going to be completely honest.
He spun those tires, which is kind of making me wonder where his TC is at, because that was a massive, massive slide on exit for that Mercedes. He's going to have another opportunity on the inside. Karu just gives it to him almost. Had a worse exit than Donnelly, and I think Donnelly, I'm going to guess, is running a lower TC setting by 1 or 2. I think he's got nothing in that car. The 257 has been electric in a straight line, and it's just 1, and I'm very confused as to how he spun those tires. Is it 2?
Yeah.
It's 2, I can read. It's 2, but what happened to Jaeger?
Jaeger behind in 2. Nothing, they're side by side.
Oh, sorry.
These two are...
I thought I was watching the other one, so I was like, where did Jaeger Karu just go as Donnelly gets overtaken on the 920 car? Oh no, hits the bump, and he gets bumped. Karu, the 920 car, absolutely T-boned by Donnelly, who will pick up some damage, but doesn't get it as bad as Karu did.
Jaeger Karu absolutely clambered over the curb, caught some air, spun out in the middle of the track, and left absolutely no options for Chase Donnelly there. That was rather unfortunate, to be fair. Chase Donnelly, really nothing he could have done in that instance.
Yeah, slammed on the brakes as soon as he could, as Kyle Hesselin still pestering Mr. Rue, to say the least. It's a gnat on a summer day, if you will. The 69 car doing everything he can in the rearview mirror of that multicolored machine ahead. Postures towards the inside. Makes him look. Makes him afraid of him. Goes on that inside line. He's got more room on that inside line. Doing everything he can with 4 minutes left. He's got about 3 laps to go. Potentially, no, just 3. Just 3 laps to go. Well,
yeah, somewhere around there. Either way, I'm not going to call it. Either way, we're currently 9 laps underway. He's got a few more laps to make it happen, and it's just a matter of, I think, well, I don't want to say when at this point, because Mr. Rue has been absolutely stellar on the defense. He is the man from down under, and managing to defend against Kyle Hesselin so far, the American driver, who has been ruthless at the best of times, but he's certainly prioritizing aggression over adhesion, and he's trying it once more down the inside of the penultimate corner complex-ish. Not going to be able to make it stick, though, yet, as the BMW punches it on exit. And there was a little bit of a hip check there mid-corner. Mr. Rue, though, unsettles over the curb, but that's the benefit of the M4. It just does not care about curbs whatsoever. And, of course, Valencia, a motorcycle track, the curbs here are pretty much a drop in the bucket compared to some of the Spa-Francorchamps. However, that's going to be a terrible line from Mr. Rue, and there is the position handed over for free for Kyle Hesselin. It's going to be a defense back, though. Mr. Rue with the drag race. He should be able to have carried some speed there from running wide. He needs to go very, very late onto the brakes, though. Can he make it stick? Switchback attempt, though, for Mr. Rue, potentially. Maybe the Porsche goes deep. It does. Both drivers go deep there, Liz. The BMW back down to the inside, thinks about it, but that's that passive nature that we see from Mr. Rue. You would not see it again, and it's paying off as there's a massive slide on exit for Kyle Hesselin. Mr. Rue, can he find it in the next 2.5 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's really conservative there. He's got to be alongside to have an opportunity at that overtake, and it's up to that mirror, and I think Mr. Rue knows that. It's not going to work if you're only a quarter panel alongside with a guy like Hesselin, who will not see you and will not really care if you're on that inside line, and will slam that Porsche against the BMW, and somehow the BMW will be the only one to turn with how Hesselin's luck has gone this season. He really, I guess, wins accidents, and I don't know how to describe that other than he's just really good at not getting into accidents where he, I guess, ends up damaged. It's a very weird thing. It's a very odd thing, but I think it's Hesselin's aggressive nature kind of making drivers get away from him and not be too happy near him.
Yeah, a bit of a Max Verstappen style, to be completely honest. Very, very
more
aggro.
aggressive than that sometimes. I mean,
but either way, I don't know about that. But either way, Drew Freiberger battling with Jaeger Karu, still down for P12. And what happened to Matt Melanson? Matt Melanson had a bit of contact earlier, if I'm not mistaken, or yeah, and ended up with, I think it was with the AMG of, what am I forgetting?
I think we had didn't we have multiple? It was that first lap incident with Seth Lincoln in the Porsche, or was it?
It was Hesselin.
No, that is Matt Melanson. That was Matt Melanson in chat. Whoops.
Oh.
He's asking what happened. Whoopsies. We've been very nonchalant on chat, to be honest. But there's been so much action here. Dr. Porkchop on that other end. He's going to make a run here. No, he won't. I lied to you. Mr. Rue, though, again, oh my goodness, that conservative driving paying off. Hesselin just does not have that turn down. Maybe those tires are cooked on the Porsche, but man, he is sliding everywhere in that turn, and really going to need to put it down for this last lap here. This might be the last lap. I'm not sure if he's going to hit.
I think it is.
Yatanashi's going to hit the line in time. We'll see.
Yeah, we have another minute. They absolutely will. There's another minute left, so they will almost certainly will. A name that we haven't mentioned too much either, Marco Yatanashi. We'll mention that in a moment as Chase Donnelly tries to get by Dr. Porkchop. Doesn't happen either way. Up at the front, Marco Yatanashi has been under domination. They were nervous about the pole position, and I would say unjustly so. Adriano Moro had no answers for any of the questions posed by Marco Yatanashi tonight. He absolutely dominated, and 6 seconds ahead. Fastest lap of the qualifying and fastest lap of the race. It's so far a Grand Slam. However, there's still one more race here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a Grand Slam for the first race, and I'm not quite sure where he sits in the standings, Mike, but I'm pretty sure that's his first. I think I would guess that's his first. Marco Yatanashi to the line. Definitely his first pole position in the series. Not sure if it's first win, but I'm going to go with it. Excellent drive from him. Adriano Moro, who's had his highest finish of the season here as well. The Aston Martin's dominating the top three as well. The Brazilian, trailed by Noah Johnson, the fellow Aston Martin in third, with a Ginetta in the top four, Mike.
Yeah, that's a lovely sight to see. Something you don't see too often, but a Ginetta making it there of Jacob Curtis. Adriel Olivadia behind him in 5th position. Kyle Heslin coming home in 6th, ahead of Mr. Rue with a nice BMW-esque drift. Jeff Franks into, I was going to say the barrier, not quite, he manages to get it stopped in time. 8th position, Seth Lincoln 9th, and Dr. Porkchop rounds out your top 10 for race 1 tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Moroku Yatsunashi, what a miracle drive. That's his first top 8 of the season, Mike. Has not had a higher position than that so far, and, well, it's gone to mistakes and gone to accidents, and, none of those tonight, no other cars to hit. He was off the line and gone. Here, there, gone the 53 car. Waved the stars and stripes all the way home. Wow, that was really, really good.
That was an awesome race. Very impressive all the way around. Also, chat, we do apologize for the lack of interaction, but that was a very exciting race, and there just wasn't any downtime, literally. I don't think there was a single second of downtime. I saw there Jake Wells joining us in chat. Also, big shout out to all of the people over on the YouTube side. We got Leo Oliver, we got Jonathan Clifford, Tyler F from Fear Nothing Moto, we got Demand Internet, great. Root Paper Scissors also over there. Welcome everybody on the YouTube side. Welcome everyone on the Twitch side. Hope everyone's had a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. I'm Mike Nause, joined tonight with Carson Kass. That was race 1 of the rookies, Carson, and we have race 2 coming up, and the starting order is the same as the finishing order of race 1. And I think Moriko, they were a little bit nervous, but I gotta say, the pace seemed unmatched there in the race 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how I think it's going to be the second race. Now that I think even now, that's not going to be nervous to this line again, because they just dominated that first race, and you wore off the dust, you wore off the rust, and you're going into the second race on a Grand Slam opportunity here, which you dominated the first race in, and it wouldn't be too surprising if you had the second, because every car near you was the same car as you, and you were beating them by about half seconds to a full second every lap. Amazing, amazing sections. Yes, Spady, I do know what that livery was referencing. Bubba Wallace's beautiful 2024 NASCAR Street Circuit race, which I got to see in person, the car there.
Absolutely awesome. And we got those hydrates in as well. But as it stands, I think we're going to be back underway relatively shortly.
We've got about 5 minutes, Mike. We have many questions in chat.
Yeah,
if you would like to.
Yeah, if you have one, go ahead and send it out there. I'm actually catching up on the YouTube side of things right now.
I've got one from YouTube, Pat Award fan number 2, the bunker, truly, of YouTube chat so far. The number 1 YouTube chatter, I'd say, so far in this history of the YouTube chat. Which F1 IndyCar driver seems like they'd make the best inspiration for a teddy bear? And that's a really interesting one. I feel like that's got a lot. You've got a lot to unpack in that one.
What do you mean by teddy bear?
Like, I think, like, what I'm thinking is, like, kid's toy, like, you can give it to, like, a child, and it's, like, got, like, all, like, the race suit on or something. Like, who would you look at and be like, they would make a good teddy bear, they'd make a good, like, inspiration and role model for a kid? And why is it Alex Albon?
That's actually a really good shout. Yeah, honestly, that's probably the best shout, but I wonder if that's what they meant by that. I
don't know, but I like that question. The way I phrased it a lot better. You could let me know if you done that section.
Yeah, let us.
Did mean like that. No, they did mean that. Okay.
Oh, okay, good,
yes,
good.
Reading comprehension is still here.
Yeah, I'm glad. See, I wasn't going to answer that question because I read that in a completely different light.
Oh, goodbye, ACC.
It's Carson's cursed ACC struggles, but unfortunately, Carson, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but you're going to be, unfortunately, not having to worry about ACC crash too much anymore. And do you want to tell the viewers why that might be?
Guys, I got to go to school, guys, for broadcasting. And this is my last Monday with you guys. Next Sunday will be my last Sunday with you guys for, at the very latest, probably December. I'm not going to be coming home for Thanksgiving break, so I'll be back probably December 15th, the earliest, and hopefully I get back on that time. Hopefully I have the means to stream at that time. My computer hasn't broken at that point, but I think we will be fine. But I will be picking up some events here and there when I have the time. I do have very, very free weekends, typically, if I'm not, once rugby season ends, because I am also playing rugby. So, yeah, if you're missing my face, you can check it out. Carson_Kass_ on Instagram. That's where most of my broadcasting stuff will be posted as it becomes more real-world professional. Not real-world professional, but real-world schooling and real-world sports type deal. As unfortunately, I have to make my leave at some point. And that is actually in 10 days. So
Yeah, unfortunate, but it has been quite the pleasure to have you in the booth, Carson, for the entirety of it, and I think everybody will agree that how much you have grown over the past few months.
Thank you very much. And one thing I do want to highlight is the growth of these rookies on that section. Moriko Yatanashi is one of those drivers who's got the opportunity for a Grand Slam right now, who has never finished in the top 8 this season, Mike. And this is their first season with TRACKILICIOUS in the rookies. And I believe they had part of last season as well, but I do remember that not going too well. Sorry, Moriko. I don't need to state the obvious there on that one, but really, really big improvements. A lot of practice laps down. I love seeing these guys practice. I'm not a rookie driver anymore because I quit, but catch me racing as my final goodbye, I guess, on Wednesday. That'll more to that soon, as well as the schedule announcement in Discord.
Yep, very, very soon. Keep an eye on the ! Discord for the TRACKILICIOUS Discord if you are interested, or why doesn't that work? Either way, well, it's not neither here nor there. Yeah, something clearly broke when I changed computers. Yes. I don't know. It should work. Oh, there we go. Now it works. Wait, but Discord doesn't.
You just had to... What do you mean Discord doesn't? You can't hear me?
No, you're fine. Oh, I just have to reselect these. Oh, they just had to like recognize the fact that they existed. We're doing it live chat. You love to see live TV here. Having the new PC, we're working through minor teething problems. However, the major benefits have been showing. Hope everyone's been enjoying the higher quality streams and the YouTube streams as well. And also, Pato Ward fan pointing out that Yuki is absolutely the choice for who would make the best teddy bear.
I mean, what is that? What's that one like IKEA teddy bear that's like 6'3"? Like, I mean, teddy bears come in all shapes and sizes, Mike.
You want a George Russell teddy bear?
Make sure you guys stay tuned into the Discord. Stay in the Discord, guys. We've got much more George Russell, Carson, Kass content to come, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
We've been working hard. It's the reason I actually haven't slept, I think. I don't know what happened, but I have to assume George Russell kept me up last night in fear of him in general, and that he is on the same planet as me.
See, Adam Strange agreeing. Yuki would make a great teddy bear.
I was going more for the role model part there, but yeah, fair enough. I think Yuki's got some choice words, as George Russell isn't teddy bear material.
Yeah, it's true. Now, but what about like Valtteri Bottas, though? That's like a 50-50. Yeah. I feel like you're either really into that teddy bear or you're really not into that teddy bear, and there's no in between. But think of the you know what I'm saying.
You might be able to tell by my hairstyle I am a massive Valtteri fan. So, yeah, I'll go with Valtteri Bottas, I guess. As Lewis is the best role model? Yeah. Yes and yeah. I think he definitely... I mean, I can't... Literally, there is nothing that I can complain about when it comes to Lewis's, like, decision-making in terms... Cool.
Yeah, he's just too cool and too nice of a person.
He's too cool to be a teddy bear.
Like,
he's too cool to be a teddy bear.
That's true, actually. He is way too cool to be he'd be like one of those teddy bears with sunglasses.
Yeah, dude.
And a Versace shirt on with Louis Vuitton. Well, I guess he couldn't.
He got too much aura.
Yeah. This has too much. The second half of his name to be a teddy bear. Yeah, fair enough. But I think that would make it, like I said, you're either 50-50, really going to like that, or you're really not. So
I'm praying that man, most chiseled jaw on the grid, needs to get a seat next year. Oh my goodness.
Well, Carson, enough babbling on about Valtteri Bottas and the fantasies of which Formula 1 driver / IndyCar driver would make the best teddy bear. Let's get on in here and meet our drivers for the night. However, I have to... Wait, hold on. Before we do that, we're going to stay in the booth for a second because even though I've gotten a new PC, ACC TV, I was hoping it would work if I just reconnected it. But no, it still needs to get restarted every single time.
Yep, true. Fact.
There we go.
I have to join the server for it to work.
Your game will just crash anyways.
True. Oh, there it goes.
I didn't mean that literally. I'm sorry.
No, you just sent it. You just commentator cursed my computer. ! Curse for that one. I feel like that counts.
Either way, let's get on into the action where my computer hasn't crashed. Black screen of anticipation. before we meet our drivers. And starting us off here, Carson, at the top of the grid is going to be none other than Moriko Yatanashi, the number 53, took the race win in race 1. Can they go back-to-back? Adriano Moro, the 1-2 contend that started off in second and remains in second for the 373, the Brazilian driver trying to contend for the win. Noah Johnson, third position tonight after managing to plow through the grid quite a few positions up into P3 here with Jacob Curtis in the Fear Nothing Moto Ginetta behind. Idriel Olivadia, fifth position with Kyle Heslin in P6. Mr. Rue, company for them in 7th, and Jeff Franks in P8. Seth Lincoln coming home in 9th here tonight, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be none other than Dr. Porkchop.
11 will be Chase Donnelly, trailed by the car that he unfortunately T-boned. Not really his fault, more of the fault of the 12th place driver, Jaeger Carter, the 920 machine, with Drew Freiberger, who's been charging through the grid at the 419 machine in 13th. 14th will be Pedro Artoni, the Brazilian driver, in the same color as the other Brazilian driver in second place. Wondering, since they both have the checker livery, if that's similar teammates. But Spady Bud, that 21 car will start 15th. The McDonald's livery will hope to win here with Will Menser behind, hoping to get a better fortune. Started 13th, got into an accident, ended up in 16th with the rust color of Ryan Eason starting in 17th. Gained no lost from that last race with Miguel Cesaron starting in 18th. Bit of a fall from them. The 39 machine will be hoping for a bit better fortune here. The Portuguese driver trailed by the number 19 car of Brian Menser, who's up 1 since his pit start, but he'll start in the race right now with Harrison Waldis, the 26 machine, starting last but not least. The American driver has got pace, just got into an accident.
Yeah, well, Addis, I'm sure will have the pace to make it through the field a good bit. Hopefully they can recover from the back, and I'm sure they will. They got plenty of, well, I was going to say plenty of time. It's only 20-minute sprint race here, so not the most amount, and the overtaking we've seen is pretty difficult. However, it is doable on this track, and nobody driving the Audi. Hyperkid in chat. Yeah, nobody driving the Audi. I will admit that is, we haven't seen an Audi all season, to be completely honest. I think there was one early on, but had retirement, and even in the GT4 Open, I don't think we have too many Audis.
No, I mean, it's just, from what I understand, it's less stable and not fast enough to really argue as a platform. The GT4s don't have BOP, so it's kind of difficult. Because if your car is bad, it's bad no matter where it is. No, we do have BOP.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you're looking for an Audi, I have to imagine that BOP goes down quite a bit, as maybe that's the reason the advantages are so fast. 14 kilograms off in a car like that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that would explain a lot, to be completely honest. No doubt about it.
All right, well, that's interesting, to say the least. Maybe not the best pool of Aston Martin drivers that they could have gotten. But the 53 driver will be very content with that. Same with Morano and Johnson as they head towards the line.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, before the line.
One more corner before they get ready here, and it's the same order at the front row that we have. Well, actually, it's not. The front row is the same. The second row is not the same. Moriko Yatanashi starting us off on pole position. Adriano Moro in second. Behind that is going to be the rest of the field. Approaching the lights here. I'm Mike Nasabu. Joining with me tonight is Carson Kass as we get ready to go green, and we are now going to be underway, and Adriano Moro immediately is going to be commanding into the lead, but we can see the second phase underway. Moriko Yatanashi with a little bit more even of a now drive down to the first corner, though. It's going to be a send from the Brazilian. Down to the inside is going to be Moriko Yatanashi. Still has the inside line for the next coming corner. However, I think it is positioned, signed, sealed, and delivered. The Brazilian now leads the rookies. Goes a little bit deep, though, into the second corner, allowing the likes of Moriko back alongside. However, isn't going to be enough. Behind that, Noah Johnson is still in third position now, behind the likes of Idriel Olivadia in third. We have Mr. Rue behind that as well.
Yeah, big off from the 920 at Taker Karu. Not sure what they got involved in, but they're last in the field after an accident. Adriel Olivaria really under threat from that Aston Martin behind. They're in equal machinery. It's a top 4 for the Aston Martins again, and Yatanashi under the threat that he has not seen all tonight. Noah Johnson putting serious pressure on the car ahead, but Adriel Olivaria a bit more concerned with the car in front. He tries that outside line, goes a bit deep, and won't pick up too much rubber. But maybe on the exit there, Yatanashi very happy with that turn, as now Noah Johnson's going to be a little bit more of an issue for Olivaria headed now.
Yeah, and Mr. Rue also going a little bit deep there. That might allow the likes of Jacob Curtis alongside, but we also see a mistake from Idriel Olivadia. It's a game of chance right now, and who is going to be rolling the dice the hardest? Moriko Yatanashi, we've seen, is able to lead this race by 6.5 seconds after 20 minutes. They have the pace, but can they make the overtake behind that? Idriel Olivadia gets sent on by Noah Johnson, and that is a clean overtake if I've ever seen one. Adriano Moro goes deep, and Moriko Yatanashi makes a repeat, a little bit of deja vu from the previous corner, trying to now drag race down to the first corner. Everybody takes the inside line. Adriano Moro has to dive to the out, but that's Noah Johnson with a drive of a century, going to be making a send potentially onto Adriano Moro. They're going to be both deep. That's going to allow the Aston alongside potentially now. Flash of the headlights for Mr. Rue, trying to get into the head of the Brazilian driver. The Ginetta dives to the inside onto the grass. How there wasn't contact? Oh, there is contact, but it's going to be from Adriano Moro. Mr. Rue involved Dr. Porkchop, Seth Lincoln, and it is a mayhem and calamity. Millions and millions of dollars of damage.
That is, wow. That yellow flag indeed. I'd probably red flag that if I was a better steward, but that is cars sideways and pile driving each other, unfortunately, with not enough time to react and no brakes combined. Miguel Cesaro to move up to 14th with that. As you see, Rue, quite the fall for the BMW there, up to 15th, or rather down to 15th now, trying to get back up to 14th. That is a tough break for a lot of these drivers, Mike.
Yeah, that was everything kind of just exploded at once. We mentioned the pressure cooker in the previous race. Well, it clearly has burst, and it is continuing to spew steam out right now, and that's going to be Will Menser going deep all on his lonesome. Now Ryan Eason trying to make moves onto Noah Johnson. Ryan Eason, by the way, started in 17th, just for reference, now up 9 positions into 8th, and trying to make moves on to 7th.
Yeah, pace-wise, I don't know how long this is going to last, but with how it's been going, I wouldn't be too surprised to see this other section. But Mike, I'll be right back.
You got it. Now, continuing along for the battle for P8, it is going to be Dr. Porkchop. Behind that, though, Pedro Arntoni, who is up quite a few positions himself. Actually up only 1 position, started in 14th. I thought it was a few more than that. However, fastest lap held by Mr. Rue, currently in P16. We also see Drew Freiberger hop into pit lane. That is very unfortunate. There's no mandatory pit stop tonight, and that is only going to cost them time. Side by side, though, into the first corner. This is a bit of a redemption arc for Jacob Curtis. He goes onto the grass, doesn't make it happen, though, unfortunately. A lovely attempt, but Mr. Rue is going to be on the point. Behind that, Jeff Franks and the Love Wins Racing joining the party as well. This AMG trying to command in, gets the gap closed very quickly there by the Ginetta, and that, Carson, was rather dangerous.
Yeah, and Adam Strange, don't worry, we won't tell your boyfriend you spend your hard-earned money at Trackalicious. It's exactly what we like to hear. Maybe not the not telling your boyfriend part, but the donating. Love to see it. Thank you very much, but my lips are sealed, my friend.
Ain't no one gonna be telling here. Nodders. We don't have that emote enabled, but yeah.
Just said
side
it.
by side up ahead, Pedro Arntoni on the charge. Brian Menser is off onto the grass. He is making a mess of it currently. Oh no! The longest spin of all time, and he ends up parked in the kitty litter, unfortunately. Brian Menser was on such a great drive there up into 15th. Unfortunately there, side by side. Drops it all on his own, and now down into P18. Still, though, a decent drive and plenty more opportunities in the future. It's been great to see Brian Menser in this league. This is, of course, Will Menser's dad joining the party. Shout out to both of them. It's absolutely awesome to see.
And yeah, you talked about that pressure cooker earlier, Adam Strangewaite. I mean, we don't... Yeah. Hey, man.
Money's money, and that's contact.
I was going to say that pressure cooker.
Chase Donnelly gets tagged off into the side here. What has happened? Let's go back and take a look as we go for the replay. We're currently looking at Chase Donnelly, who's all on his own. How did he get involved with Seth Lincoln? It's a dive bomb and a half. Oh my goodness. That was not on. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, and all those drivers were caught together, some of varying pace, and that's what's going to happen there. Pressure cooker cooked too hard. You saw that you were in 4th place, got very, very excited to try and find anything you can get, and plays the forbidden game of tag with the rear quarter panel on the inside there. And yeah, that's just not where you want to be. Chase Donnelly back towards where they started, I think in where they started. So not too bad of a race so far, but definitely upset probably the lack of opportunities that they've lost.
Yeah, and, you know, in that instance, not sure the stewards are going to be having too much of a look at that. That was one of the reap what you sow sort of incidents where you get your penalty live in the moment. Seth Lincoln somehow didn't get affected. We had an AMG stove into the side of a Porsche, and it just literally didn't care. Fair enough. It managed to survive, and Seth Lincoln, he continues to fight another day in P5.
Yeah, Kyle Estlund, who is the pressure cooker we labeled earlier, is watching this unfold all behind him. Varying paces going everywhere. Mikel Cicerone overtaken pretty easily by that Ginetta in the middle sector. He's already a faster driver, and it's just definitely come out here in that middle sector there. That Ginetta going to maybe get caught in the straight, to be honest with you, because it is so slow down that road. But Jeff Frank's drive-through penalty, unfortunately.
Yep,
see him
track
right there on the right
limits.
side.
Unfortunate, and surprised we haven't seen more of that. I don't think we saw one in the first race. We are going to be seeing Miguel Cicerone, though, go for an overtake onto Curtis, and that is the Ginetta straight line speed downside, but that right there is the Ginetta cornering in a massive hip check. Miguel Cicerone gets unstable on exit and unfortunately clatters into Jacob Curtis, sends him careening into the barrier.
Yeah, that's a knife fight in a phone booth that turns into a clobber call, if you will, there, because he'll be calling 911. That is massive damage for the 6'8 car, who will certainly be exchanging insurance informations after that hip check there. Oh, my goodness. Looked like hockey out there, Mike.
Yeah, rather unfortunate. We only caught the tail end of that, and now it's going to transition, and we'll still be in the replay because I messed it up just slightly. We're still in replay, folks. Hold on, we're not live yet. I missed the button click. I moved my mouse when I hit the button is the problem. Now we're live, and there is Ryan. Not Ryan Eason. This is Ryan Eason side by side as he goes deep. Will Menser gets by and needs to be careful as Adriano Moro behind him. Adriano in P10. What has happened to Adriano Moro?
Ooh. Moro got caught in the incident. He was together with Rue in that section. They were one of the first great walls of Valencia there, unfortunately. Just the wrong place to go sideways as everybody's accelerating out of the corner, which was effectively a blind corner with so many cars ahead of you. That one wrong decision, I think, led to everybody's downfall there, Moro. Outside line, going to be all right on that wide line. Never mind. Keeps it straight at the end there, but I'll have to go back nip and tuck as I eat my own words.
That worked better than I expected. I was very much questioning the on-the-paint driving. It's very slippery out there, and yeah, I'm shocked that that wasn't worse, to be completely honest. That was a very questionable line, if you ask me, but he lives to tell another day, or lives to tell another tale. We'll see if he will make habit of that line. Spady Bud, massive clattering there, as that is going to be Will Menser sent off. Victim to Spady Bud. Not one race, two races, and not his fault either time. Let's see what happened.
Okay, so Spady here into this turn here just slides the Camaro. It's easy to do, and then I think there's a lack of holding the brakes there. Yep, tries to go off the track and either accelerates or lets off the brake, and he T-bones that car, and I'm just very surprised that Mercedes kept out of that wall, Mike.
Yeah, if that was real life, there would have been a massive explosion of carbon. That would have been a violent crash, to be completely honest. Spady learning a lesson of the rookies on this race. Hold your brakes when you spin and never let go until you're clear, because that right there is why. And so unlucky. Unlucky for the AMG, by the way. Will Menser is just the most unlucky man on this planet, and also now is a mortal enemy of Spady Bud.
Yeah, and I mean, the intention was good there, but on the inside line, it's big intention from Noah Johnson and massive send on that Porsche, who will have a chance on the exit here. Really punchy, not even sure what just happened there. I couldn't commentate you through that one, but I can commentate you through this one, the 101, alongside with that purple machine there. Not getting the drag it has been. How is Seth Lincoln this fast in a straight line? The American car gonna stay on the inside. Rexy somehow beating a car with 14 less kilos in a straight line. Takes it, as now under threat is the car behind. I have to imagine there's damage somewhere on that purple machine. But the Porsche somehow beats it in a straight line, then beats it to the corner.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened, Carson. I'm going to be completely honest. I think we're watching an Aston Martin engine inside of a Porsche, and the Porsche engine's inside the Aston Martin. Did Seth Lincoln and Noah Johnson switch cars without us looking? Because that was ridiculous. I don't know what the Porsche seemed to just take different characteristics briefly. Behind that, there's a huge scrap going on, by the way, with these four drivers. Chase Donnelly chasing down Ryan Eason, Adriano Moro on on the tail, as well as Will Menser behind, made a bit of a mistake there. We saw them in the first corner in the background getting all sorts of out of shape and making a little bit of contact. Is it going to be a repeat? Chase Donnelly sends it way too deep, and that is going to be position not had. Almost contact on the back there. Really great awareness from Chase Donnelly on the size of his AMG, and that's another send from Will Menser. That isn't great awareness on the size of his AMG, and he takes out Adriano Moro.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened at the start of the race for Adriano Moro, where he unfortunately got sideways, but I can tell you that that is just icing on the cake. That really, really sucked for the 373 car, and that's not the kind of icing you want. He keeps it all right. That is super unsettled. Another rallycross move, which you tend to see in these lime green Aston Martins for some reason, Mike. I
thought Karu was about to get a taste of his own medicine there. I legitimately thought Karu was about to get dive bombed in the corner that he spun on the last corner and took someone out, last race and took someone out. Mr. Rue getting a bit aggressive here as Will Menser backed off and allowed Adriano Moro back along by, and that now has put Mr. Rue into contention to gain a position over Will Menser. Looks to the inside of the first corner. There's damage on the AMG, and Mr. Rue has the fastest car, no, not anymore, had the fastest car in a straight line in race 1, now only the 5th fastest car in a straight line. Chase Donnelly holds that title, well, rather did hold that title, I guess, before any forms of damage.
Yeah, and, you know, Mike, Yatanashi, you just have to lead all the laps, right, for a Grand Slam?
Yeah, I mean, you have to lead all the laps, yeah.
Led every lap, because he got to the front at the end of lap 1, so that is still in contention. He managed to get that overtake in the final turn, so Yatanashi, by the way, still on the Grand Slam attempt here, folks, just
not yet,
to update you on, well, on the attempt still.
Yeah. Idriel has
it
fastest
is alive.
lap. That's the problem right now is... Morco needs the fastest lap in order to make that dream become a reality.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Had the fast lap the first race. He's losing it by only a couple hundredths there. Maybe even a little bit less there. Yatanashi just needs to get the fastest lap on that section, but with these tires, not quite too sure how that's going to happen. He's running just over a second and a half than that section. Ryan Easton there. Pretty easily taken care of by Donnelly. Easton, this would be the best finish of his season so far. If he can manage to keep it in the top 10, really good drive from that number 2 car to really rather just keep the nose as clean as possible with what's been going on there. But I want to trace back to that Speedy Bud incident. Accelerating out of that corner, I think, was a very panicked, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of the track right now, and trying to just get away from anybody and trying to prevent what happened, really.
Yeah, don't do that is my best advice.
Don't do that, yes.
that is what not to do. Side by side, though, Mr. Rue alongside with Will Menser. Will Menser's damaged AMG, I think, getting the best of him down that straight, and there it is going to be signed, sealed, and delivered. Side by side for the 2 teammates up ahead as the Brazilians are going to have a little bit of a position swap, it seems. Adriano Moro gets let by from Pedro Antoni. Also, welcome the other Brazilian, Gil Silverin, in chat. And thank you, everybody, for the happy anniversaries. Welcome, Vinny Bag of Chips, Am I a Failure, and everybody else that is joining us. Hope everyone's having a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. We apologize for the lack of chat interaction, but there has just been too much entertainment to miss, really. Like this.
The life of rookies here. Yeah, as Pork Chop on that inside line, trying to take a look. A little bit indecisive there. Doesn't really get the opportunity. Noah Johnson gets the good defense off, but now he's chasing Seth Lincoln, who we somehow got beaten a straight line by, despite negative 14 kilos for him and weight on the Porsche. The first time I've seen that in a while. The 42 car has a threat on the inside. Pork Chop, just better lines to that section, but just can't seem to get it past Noah Johnson. His best opportunity is coming up after this right-hander here. Or rather, yes, this right-hander. This will be into this last turn. It'll be his best opportunity other than turn 1, but he's going to hopefully, with this distance, just hope for a better exit.
He's going to hope for it, but that is all he can do right now. Looking at it now for the run, Seth Lincoln has a great line. So does Noah Johnson. He uses a little bit more track there, and that could give him just the slightest bit of gain as I hit every wrong button before I get to the front splitter. Now, he's not gaining. He's not close enough. Doesn't have the slipstream powerful enough to make an overtake. And that Porsche, let me just take a look at pit wall real quick. Xbox pit wall if you are interested. This car of Seth Lincoln is currently 14th quickest in a straight line. Noah Johnson is straight lined into the back of Seth Lincoln. Somehow there wasn't contact, but Noah Johnson is deep. Dr. Porkchop is through.
That was the scariest thing ever. I don't think I made that noise in a very long time. That was true genuine fear for Rexy in the front section there. Aw. The front section there as Dr. Porkchop, the 71 machine, just That's opportunistic driving, but I'm not sure how long you can keep him behind. It's been faster so far for Johnson, who's got, if you notice, a bit of a difference in the front bonnet in terms of drag.
The thing is, though, is he doesn't need to keep him behind for that long. We're running out of time right now, but time is of the essence for Noah. You can see he's trying to poison every corner to make any form of aggression. Maybe unsettle Dr. Porkchop, get in his head, but Dr. Porkchop doing exactly what he needs to do. He's planting it dead center of the track, and that is not going to allow him to budge. Noah Johnson's going to have to get his elbows out if he wants this position.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be just really, really tough, but with how his pace has been going, Chase Donnelly getting into the mix right here. You see that black and red Mercedes, which I don't think had the pace, starting P11, is got an opportunity for the top 5 if things go bad or go worse, which we've seen can go bad, can go worse very, very quickly here, and I think might be one of those cases Chase Donnelly's hoping for. 2 Aston Martins in a straight line. It's going to be tough to get the overtake. Porkchop's going to have a worse straight line speed, though. Noah Johnson doesn't take that inside line as Rexy just cruises away from these two, just trying to hope for anything there. That's what he was hoping for, but unfortunately he was the victim. Donnelly trying to go for a really an advantageous move. He's outside and punched out, unfortunately.
Yeah, it gets a little bit of a hip check. Ooh, and that's going to be a bit of unsettlement there from Dr. Porkchop as well. You can tell he's pushing at an absolute maximum right now at 110%. And unfortunately, he doesn't even have 100% of his car. How can you push it over 100% when you're not even fully repaired? Well, we're seeing that right now from Dr. Porkchop, and he is trying his absolute heart out right now. Blue Beetles is an amazing Wait, what? Blue Beetle is a superhero? But only an okay movie. I don't even know who that is.
That's fair. I didn't know till I was like last year. But Jaeger Karu really putting pressure on this Aston Martin ahead, has caught up a massive amount. Eason going to do everything he can to defend, trying to hold his best finish of the year. But goes a bit wide there. Karu does as well, trailing that bumper just a little bit too much. The AMR going to have a better exit there, really close to that back quarter panel. Karu stays out of him. The orange car just doing everything he can, chasing here, but it's going to be down to Karu, who's really just been following the line of the car ahead, and that's not really been the best recipe for him.
No, not yet, but he is through the every time we go through this corner, I have to clench a little bit for Jaeger Karu, because I would imagine he is doing the exact same thing, especially in the heat of the moment like this. You can see alternate line being taken right now from Adriano Moro. He's going to slingshot himself and get a commanding launch right now. Jaeger Karu has to go defensive, I think. He might go for an offensive defense move, meaning he's going to have to send it on to Ryan just to hold the position from Adriano. Adriano going for it. You can see trying to use the momentum, has the inside. Jaeger Karu to the outside, goes for the attack. But that's the defense. Again, very clever play from all these drivers. They have their head on a swivel, and Jaeger Karu, more so than others, goes for the move into the second corner and makes it happen. Adriano Moro tries to follow him through, but there's contact. Ryan Eason gets sent off into the barrier, and it is calamity. The best finish of the season for Ryan is going to be, unfortunately, maybe put to an end here. I think he still could be on for it.
It's 15th for him, so he's just got to...
There's more happening.
To the end. Oh no, Seth Lincoln! Well, he's got maybe that position back if he can catch up. Seth Lincoln will take a look here. I have a feeling it's got a... he just got turned into cooked bacon by the car behind. We'll have to see it awfully close there on that back bumper. We'll have to see what he does here, and...
Ooh, Dr. Porkchop with a not-so-surgical move, and he sends Seth Lincoln, unfortunately, into a coma.
Dang. I mean, he's still driving. 101 car is still out there in 8th. A very, very good finish for him so far. But he's under massive threat here. Moriano trying to get that position back to the 373 car. Oh my gosh, Moriko Yatanashi, back-to-back wins. Led every single lap. One fastest lap. One short of a Grand Slam, but his first win coming in the first race, his second win coming in the second race. It's a brace for the 53 car.
We have one job to catch the finish line of the final race, and we failed, Carson. How the heck? Idriel Olivadia takes home second. Kyle Heslin, a third-place finish tonight. Oh, ahead of Noah Johnson, Chase Donnelly in fourth. Dr. Porkchop in fifth, Jaeger Karu in sixth. Seth Lincoln does get by Adriano Moro at the end for eighth. Ninth position for Adriano, and a drag race to the line between Mr. Rue and Adriano, but Mr. Rue loses out. The checkered flag has already fallen. Pedro Arantoni in 11th, Will Menser in 12th, but Carson, what a championship we've had here from the rookies from this summer.
Yeah, to say the least, that was really, really excellent. Moriko Yatanashi really capitalizing and gonna be looking forward to the fall season if they can participate. Back-to-back wins, led every single lap, what would be 24 laps tonight, belonging to the American 53. That is absolutely what you want to see if you're Moriko Yatanashi. You said they were nervous at the start of this race, but I have to assume those nerves are still very, very high. A lot of energy in that car, I have to guess right now.
Yeah, definitely. I would imagine there was some screaming, shouting, and potentially some tears involved from this finish. And I need to get out of this server before my game crashes. There we go. And Moriko in chat. Let's go, Moriko. Yes, indeed. Let's get you in the interview room.
Green room? Green room to all the podium finishers, FYI. I've got Noah Johnson in there if you want to jump in. Want to wait for Hessel in there, potentially.
Yeah, we can just begin as, why don't we start off
How
here
did it crash?
with Noah Johnson.
I'm not even in the game.
Either way. Noah Johnson, we have you here for a lovely, wait, Noah Johnson, you finished in P4.
But I finished the first race in P3.
Whatever, you're here. We'll talk to you. Carson, let's take it away.
Well, no, I actually, you had quite a bit of pace in that car, and I think you had more pace to unlock. You want to run us through a little bit on that because you had, I think, 4 invalid laps in qualifying in a row, and I think it's been a lot of just mistakes there for you. But how much pace do you think that car had?
I think I could have been fighting for P1 in the second race if I didn't make that really big error on the second lap. I think I collided with Morrow, and I felt terrible about it. And I think I was gaining on Morrow in this first race, so I think I could have gotten P2, but it was I was sliding a lot. I couldn't really quite get to grips with my car, but I think I could have had pole, but I went a little bit more cautious because I exactly like you said, like I had 4 invalid laps before that, so I just played it cautious, and so 1 podium, I'll take it, and the P4 not too bad.
Yeah, 3rd podium of the season for you. Very, very good stuff to cap out the year. We hope to see you next time in the fall season, Noah Johnson. But anyone you like to thank?
Yeah, well, I'd like to thank Ilpo, I think, as everyone does. He's taught me so much. I want to congratulate Moriko for their 2 wins tonight. They absolutely deserved it. And also my partner who supports me by watching the stream and allows me to, and is like, you can sim race, have fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's down to them a lot of the time, but really, really, really good job from you there, and good job at overcoming the adversity on that second race.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have a very, very, very good job. Hope to see you next season. Have a good night. But
I'll be in the Open next season, not the rookies.
Love
graduated. Another graduate.
Yep. Graduate.
Glad to see it.
Yep. Thank you.
Congratulations, one, Noah. Good luck in your future. And
Mike, I believe.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Mike, I believe you've had a chance.
Just the best.
Oh, there is. We are an absolute comedy show behind the scenes here. Chat has no idea what is going on. All right, Kyle Heslin, welcome to the podium. Kyle, P2 finish here tonight. I gotta say, or P3 finish, excuse me, at the end of race 2. Very, very impressive, I think is to say the least. A very aggressive style that you pose in your driving. However, it paid off for you tonight. And I don't know, what was that? How would you describe that from your perspective?
Dude, I mean, in the Porsche, you either drive it like it's, drive it like you just have to absolutely send it, or you're not fast. So that's just what I do every time in that car. Because I think you could kind of see on stream that it's really not good in the straight line, but it's very good in the corners. So as soon as I was able to get in front of all those guys, like luckily, well, not luckily for them, but for me, I had a really good situation there, and I just got in front of them and kind of got away.
Yeah, all in all, it was a very entertaining race from you, to say the least. You had your battles, a fair share of them, in fact. How was it from your perspective from some of those battles? I know you had quite a few fights from the back, but you managed to make up how many positions at the end of the day? I know it was 3 in race 2, but overall, you've made up quite a few positions from the back.
I don't know, but the battles I was having were pretty fun. Those guys, it's always fun trying to get the good exit on them and to be able to get a good run on them. But yeah, everybody was clean. A couple bumps, but you know, it's racing. So, but no complaints. Everything was great.
Yeah, awesome. Anyone that you'd like to thank before we move on here tonight?
You guys for making the cool streams. I love watching them afterwards.
Appreciate it, Kyle. Well, good luck in your next sessions, and we bid you farewell for this season.
Thank you, man. Peace.
Last but not least, Carson, I think somebody that's been biting at their heels waiting for this one, Moriko Yatanashi. First race win of the season, back-to-back race wins, plus a fastest lap in race 1. Couldn't quite get it in race 2. How do you feel right now, Moriko?
Honestly, I don't know how to feel. This is surreal. I want to just for those of you that don't know, in a couple weeks I'm gonna be shipping off to basic training, and my goal this whole season was to try and hit podium before I leave. I was shooting for the moon and I hit the stars tonight, and I don't know how I did it. I was just dominating this track and I don't know how.
Yeah, honestly, for you, lonely at the top, it seemed. 3 seconds was the shortest gap at the end of the race that somebody had to you. You were absolutely electric, to say the very, very least. I think my opening question here is, how many laps did you put down? Because I know you had a very, very long practice session. I know you practiced quite a bit. You said your arms were sore today. You said you were nervous. But you got it done.
Well, this race I wasn't able to put in very many laps because I was stuck at drill this weekend, so I had no time to get any practice laps in.
Well, I mean, didn't need it. It was all in the instincts there. Really, really, really good job. Very, very big congratulations to you, Moriko. And we at Tracklicious wish you luck in your future endeavors. But before you go, anybody you'd like to thank for this back-to-back win here?
Well, I'd like to first thank you guys for hosting such amazing racing. I've had a lot of fun with every race. Even when I had the frustrating moments, I still had a lot of fun. I'd also like to thank the entire team of Mad Fox Racing for not only pushing me to do better every day, every race, but also standing behind me and cheering me on throughout this whole endeavor.
Yeah, those are the things you love to hear. Great community around here. Great community around you. Thank you very much for your time, Moriko. Good luck in your future endeavors. Amazing way to end it, and we hope one day you win the Open. And I think with your talent, it's definitely possible.
We'll have to see. Still got that to go, and it's pretty wet, so it's anyone's game right now.
It certainly will be.
There's 2 drivers, Mike. I think is Moriko. I think we've hit our time limit here as qualifying has started, I think, a minute ago.
Yeah,
so
we got to get rolling. But thank you very much, Moriko, for your service as well, and anybody that is any men, women, or anybody that is serving in the armed forces or for any form of on-the-line duty, be it police officers, medical. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts here at Trackalicious, so thank you, Moriko, for that.
Thank you, both of you, for such a great show.
Thank you very much. And
Have a great one.
Mike, it's finally time. The vindication at Valencia. Sopping wet, first off. It is absolutely pouring right now in Valencia, and it's going to be a free-for-all, I think. And into turn 1, that wet. Experienced drivers, but, sometimes hubris gets the best of us. And Mason Piertowski, head of the timetables. Professor Granotis doesn't practice. We'll see a battle of, instinct first practice on this session here. I am very, very excited for this one, Mike. I think we got to go ahead and make predictions here.
Yeah, we do. However, I kind of want you to do that again. Is that possible? We got some epic music in the background now for that. So, I
got you.
Yeah.
Folks, the time has come. It's 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 if you're on the East Coast, 6:30 if you're on the West Coast. The vindication at Valencia begins now. It's sopping wet in the qualifying. Probably going to be sopping wet in the rain. One-on-one, Mason Pierchowski versus Professor Chronotis. It'll be PhD versus practice here on this section here at TRACKILICIOUS. It'll be both of these guys first time competing at the GT4 Open for a championship here. And some of these guys only have one win. Mason Pierchowski coming off a gap year, or a gap season. He'll try and get his first ever TRACKILICIOUS series win. But, Mike, I gotta ask, who do you got tonight?
Who do I got? I'll be honest, Justin Beachley. I'm putting my money on Beachley. I think there's going to be chaos. I think there's going to be carnage, and I think there's going to be melee, and I want to see blood. I want to see... Okay, hold on. We've gotten a bit extreme. This music's pumped me up a little bit more than I would have liked at this point. However, 2 points separating the two in the championship. Justin Beachley is mathematically within contention. If there is contact, who knows what could happen. In these wet conditions, it is anybody's game.
Yeah, absolutely. And we might have a absolutely random race winner and then one DNF, and Mason Pierchowski, rather, Professor Chronotis DNFs, Beachley DNFs, Mason Pierchowski manages to finish the race 6 laps down. He'll be the champion. So it's going to be an interesting one out there tonight, Mike, and it'll be a one that you got to have the ponchos on for. Not many fans in tonight's final, I have to say, with how sopping wet it is out there and how rainy it's going to continue to be.
Certainly is, and that was pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie. Hope you guys like that, chat. that was some pretty epic non-copyright music. You love to see it by breaking breaking copyright. You love to see it. Thank you. Just in case they want the credit, we'll credit them.
I did not get any of the audio on my end. I think it's because I'm too silly. Unfortunately, I'm too silly for my own good. But
hopefully that worked.
Man,
chat,
that was. No, I can't hear anything except you right now.
Oh, well, that's fine.
That's my end entirely.
That's fine. You don't need to hear it. The music was epic. It was an epic speech. That's all you need to know.
Okay, good. And at a word, the time has come to save the world from the insert threat. We only have one chance to save everyone. Let's do this. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the theme of the music, to be honest with you. I feel like I could have, briefed an army on, Godzilla to that.
Probably. That was, I mean, like I said, it got me a little bit overly hyped, I won't lie. So we're going to get into this very, very soon. We're currently in free practice right now. Qualifying will begin shortly. And by shortly, I mean presumably very, very shortly. The qualifying session is technically over. It is going to be over very, very soon. And now that I'm looking at it, Carson, there are not enough drivers by my maths. Let me just double, triple check this. I do not think Justin Beachley can win the championship, even if both of the drivers were to fall down to P last.
I only hear Mike in my dreams and nightmares, and that was probably a nightmare to hear if you're Justin Beachley right there, but I don't think they had much of an opportunity. Thank you very much, Ruo Kapula, for the follow. I almost said Roku Panda. That would have been really bad. I'm so far away from the screen that I can't really read any word because Mike has the font really small and really close together. So blame Mike. Hashtag blame Mike.
Blame Mike.
Mike, do you know if we can make polls for channel points? Do you think we could have a little bit of a wager in chat on who's going to win the championship?
Yeah, if you know how to set that up, I think you can. You should be able to go into mod settings.
I have no idea. Let's do this.
I think if you go into mod settings, it's under something, or it might be under artist mode. I think it might be under artist mode. No, predictions. It's under predictions in mod view, I think. So I think you can do that.
Any people that moderate Twitch streams, help me out on this one. If Steven's here, I'm going to find it.
If Steven's here, he can set it up. I know Steven's a mod here. I know Chrono might be here, but he's also driving. Never mind, and he doesn't know how to do
go
it.
Drive, yeah. I'm going to find it. I'm going to look it up. We're gonna use the YouTube tutorial for this bad boy, Mike.
What is the best Taylor Swift album? I need to look. I actually don't know what a single Taylor Swift album name is. But
Red, the one that when I was 12, I listened to a lot. I think it's the one that has 22 in it.
Yeah, that's the one then. That's the album that I would pick as well. Red.
Oh, here we go.
Apparently. There are multiple good songs on that album.
Oh, here we go. How?
As Carson tries to figure that out. We got time, Carson, but I'd like to get it before qualifying.
I've opened a screen, and I don't know how to edit the screen. Go to your
I don't know. Carson, I can't help you. I hate to break it to you. I don't know how to
No,
do it
I'm
either.
talking chat through what? Oh, why would it? I can't seem to edit it, but I do have the poll. I have it. I can just get a random poll if that just is completely wrong. We can just be like, blue for Mason. And yeah.
No. If you can't figure it out, it's all good. Not the biggest
I was not
deal.
12 years old when that came out. For record, though, I am 18. I'm not that young. I'm not that young, or rather, I'm not that old. Actually, I think that was probably worse for you, to be honest. I'm very sorry.
But here is our current. Where is he sitting in the championship? Is he second? I can't remember. Mason's leading right now, right?
Do you know what I was just about to pull up?
The standings, I would imagine. But this is
Nothing, because I already had the standings open, because Mason is not ahead. It's Mason Pierchowski, who is 2 points behind Professor
Gotcha.
Grimes.
This is our current championship leader livery, the T-Swizzle 2022 car. And yeah, an absolute classic. We can, of course, if I can, there we go, hit the right buttons. Head on over to take a look at Mason Pierchowski, who's also out on track. He has the Garage 56, the Eagle Screech. The tribute livery from Le Mans, as it's very, very loud and obnoxious, but also in the best way possible.
Yeah, the V8 alarm clock, if you will, driven by Jensen Button, Jimmy Johnson, and one other individual who I am doing injustice by not remembering their name, but I'm bad with names anyway, so there's a third driver there who did a very, very good job, but I can't remember their name, unfortunately.
Yeah, who was it? Was a young driver, wasn't it?
It was a young endurance driver who's good. Man.
Yeah.
Like,
Who the heck was it? Was it? It wasn't Felipe, was it? Or Fittipaldi? It wasn't Fittipaldi.
oh, Mike Rockenfeller.
Oh, it was Rocky. Oh, so not a young driver.
Not at all.
Never mind, a very old driver.
I think. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, no, there was a very, very young backup driver, Jordan Taylor, I believe. Who I think is very young. I'm not fully sure.
They were all old guys. No, they were all the old breed out there. Yep, Mike Rocky. Used to be an Audi driver, won multiple times the Le Mans back in 2012, 2015, 2013, and 08. I can't. I'm testing my knowledge on that one, but he won quite a few times with Audi.
A NASCAR Xfinity Series road course ringer who just only comes out and races for teams in road courses. And those are teams that are desperate for points, typically, that bring guys like that out. I think he's done a few, but very, very weird to see that. That's a sport like NASCAR that, going a little bit off topic here, that is really, really weird that you can just switch your driver in the middle of the season and nobody bats an eye because there's so many races.
Yep.
And other news, NASCAR might be ending up in Sao Paulo for either a exhibition race or a actual points race in 2026, the earliest. So that'd be very interesting.
That'd be very fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, Audi domination at that time. Yeah, that was Audi versus Ferrari. Well, Audi versus Peugeot, and Peugeot sucked at the time and couldn't finish a race. That's changed since, kinda, sometimes.
Diesel,
except for
right?
when the car decides to... Yeah, the Audi turbo diesel. Yeah, the R7. R7? No, the... Well, it was the 7, and then it was the 13 as well, if I'm not mistaken, because there was the single-seater one that was driven by Alan McNeish, as well as Rocky and the dude with glasses. There's a lot of dudes with glasses, but the dude with glasses, I'm pretty sure.
The dude with glasses. Yeah, unfortunately, I still had a helmet on because my head was mouse-shapen at that point in my life, so I don't really know.
Fair. And... interesting. Explorer used to joke how because you don't know how you're disinterested in this. I like that. That's funny.
Fair. That is fair, but Justin Beachley, who unfortunately cannot even claim the championship, sits atop the pole. What?
Dom's got me. Dom's got me. That's all. He's just got my back on the car. The car that I forgot.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you said you're 18. I was like, that was a weird thing to say to me.
That's true.
Justin Beachley, the 18 car, is sitting on top of pole with Mason Pierchowski, just a few thousandths behind, and not looking great for Professor Granotas, who still, of course, has 5 more minutes to try and set a time here that's a little bit better. He's 1.1 second down on everybody else in that championship run.
What the heck, Adam Strange? What do you want about?
Like when you say the word 8, because it's like, he ate, because like, he ate that up.
Oh my god.
I got my point across, did I not?
Thank you very much, Blue Dream 808 for the follow, and thank you very much for the happy affiliate anniversary as well. Much appreciated.
I really tried to sell it there.
It was sold and it was clipped, and that is going to be in that'll be in the
right up there
archive.
with my chair breaking. Yeah, we got to get that clip out. We got to get the
that'll
chair
be a good audio
even,
clip.
like, in the server.
Yeah, Quinn.
Oh.
When are you going to get on that? We haven't had any new audio clips in a while. Is it Quinn or Cody that does that? I can't remember. I don't even know who does the audio clips in Discord, but I absolutely love it. Whoever does it needs to do it.
And Mason Pierchowski, pole position right here for him. He just got 0.2 faster than Justin Beachley, and no improvement from Professor Granotas at this time. 1.5 seconds to his contender front. And Mason Pierchowski is sitting in the driver's seat, figuratively and literally, right now, this championship.
Yeah, and quite dominantly as well. This is good. Professor Granotas needs to respond right now because he's running out of time. 3 minutes left, 3.5 minutes left in qualifying. And there is way too much of a difference right now separating him and Mason Pierchowski. Mason also trying to gain some time as well. The question really comes down to how much practice did these drivers put in? Did Chrono practice for this? And I'm going to just make an assumption and say no, because Chrono does not care.
Yeah, that's why I said Professor Granotas, the PhD versus the practice at the beginning, because there could not have been more than 10 laps set down, and I know Mason is at the top of the timetables, so...
Not anymore. Casey Shooty rockets himself into P1.
Asterisk in practice. There we go. On that.
That was incredible.
Sure.
Casey was just kind of pulling a lap out of absolutely nowhere, it seemed, and Professor Granotas gains a little bit, but still running in 8th. This is not going to be enough for Professor Granotas if he wants to win this championship. He's 2 points ahead of Mason Pierchowski right now, and this, again, qualifying is so important on this track.
Yeah, and in the rain, tomfoolery chaos will happen, but with only 15 cars on the grid, you're going to have a much more minimized experience. As Blue Dream 808s, thank you very much for being on the podium. What's it like at the top step? That's almost a year.
Dropping a Prime sub. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's smart. You got Amazon Prime? You ain't subbed to anybody on Twitch? That's some ad for TRACKILICIOUS. That's my one rhyme of the day. As my brain is falling out of my skull, the lack of sleep is truly affecting me right now, Mike.
45 minutes to go, Carson. Yeah, 55 minutes. 57-ish minutes to go.
Probably just over an hour and 5 minutes with the interviews. So.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Of course, I love it. Sleep deprived or not.
Alex Freeman manages the back of the time charts for right now, but only a 10th off of George Elmer. Almost dead even times in the mid-pack right now. Professor Granotas, Joseph Bammert, and Joe Khalil all within very much splitting hairs between each other. That's an extremely tight margin. Potts Weaver, however, up in a pole position. Look at this. This is just like a boxing match, or maybe this is like a WWE Royal Rumble. You don't know who's going to get thrown into the ring at any point in time.
Yeah, and that's a really good point by Blue in chat. Get your helmets ready, everybody, including me with my head-shaping helmet, I guess. It's going to be a rough one at turn 1 here at Valencia, and it's going to be a wet one and a scary one for everybody involved. Mason Pierchowski goes back up to position 2 on the grid with that qualifying run, and a not much for Chrono there. He's still stuck behind.
Yeah, and not moving anywhere right now, and down on his previous lap. This is not going to be enough. Granotas is going to be on the back foot right now. And Mason Pierchowski, looking like the championship is going to be handed to him pretty much on a silver platter. It's a matter of, does he accept it?
Yeah, and I also think it's really important to mention where we are at in the rain. Either one of these drivers it may not matter where you qualify. There could be the greatest, we could have a race restart, honestly, with how bad the conditions are supposed to be to start. Oh no. not the gallon.
My average, it's a half gallon. My average sized water bottle was asked to be brought out, so it had to make a show. I currently have 3 drinks surrounding me. I have a protein shake, I have my Respawn, and I have my water. So we are extremely hydrated. We're hydrating the muscles and we're hydrating the mind at the same time.
I have nothing in liquid, but I have on-screen cleanser, which I will not be drinking, and you should not drink either. But I do have it in case my screen gets dirty.
Adam Strange with the song lyrics. Thank you so much for the 1 bits. Much appreciated. Carson, do you know what song that is? Because I don't.
No. I don't know music. I like the sound it makes. I don't pay attention to it. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike.
Mike loves to. I mean, hydration's great. Definitely
Mike likes to drink water.
Yeah, I don't drink. And I don't, if you're trying to say what I think you're trying to say, I don't really drink much at all. Don't drink, guys. Alcohol it's overrated. It's severely overrated.
Also, even if you're a vegetarian, don't eat a veggie burger. I just tried that for the first time recently. Worst food of my life. Like, that wasn't even close to a burger. I'm sorry to all the vegetarians out there. They did you guys dirty. They did you guys so dirty.
Look, Carson. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna advocate here for the vegan burger just slightly, okay? Because while yes, it is not superior to a burger by any stretch of the imagination, I think you had a bad one because
Veggie
there
burger,
are.
man. Vegan burgers are different.
Oh, not like an Impossible Burger. Okay, so
No. The Impossible Burger tastes the same. It's just like I'm afraid while I'm eating it. That's a different situation that I have to go to therapy for because I'm afraid eating my burger. But
then yeah,
the veggie ones specifically.
Veggie burgers can go into the garbage as far as I'm concerned. I'll agree with you on that. That we I don't think that's an unpopular take. You can feed that one to the rabbits for all I'm concerned.
Black bean burgers. I hate black beans. That's what I had, by the way. No Jojosen, that was what I had, and I
stop playing raw veggie burgers. Look, I wasn't even the one with the take.
No, that's my take. That's my take.
Like,
but I'm always right.
I wasn't even the one with the take, and I get lit up for it. I mean, to be fair, I agreed with the take.
Yeah, I mean, I just I don't know. It's a texture thing. It's actually not the taste, no Jojosen. Trauma dumping. Yeah, I'm afraid of burgers. Yes, that is a really good mention. That is the only thing I get when they have it. The al pastor chicken. I don't like regular chicken at Chipotle. The al pastor chicken, delicious. But we've got the rookies out on track right now. They're coming across right down the track. For some of them for their first laps, some of them for their last laps. But if you go in expecting a burger, the texture is a bit strange. If you go in expecting a burger, yeah. But I just hate black beans in general. Spady Bud. I think he's just gone sideways.
Invalid, or I wasn't sure what happened. The camera didn't do us justice for it, so something did. Also, Shiny Carp.
The face on the side.
Shiny Carp 2, by the way. Who's Shiny Carp 1? That's what I want to know. Shiny Carp 2, thank you very much for the affiliate wish, and welcome to the first time chatter.
You don't like chicken? No, I don't like the regular chicken at Chipotle because I always burn it. I don't know, it's like that. I like chicken. Believe me, I love chicken. I'm actually not thinking about this race at all. I'm thinking about the chicken Caesar salad wrap I'm about to have after this. That's going to be absolutely delicious. And I'm going to eat one red tomato and it's going to be ruined because all the red tomatoes they never cut them up. They're like, they explode. They like you bite into it and it sprays. This is going to sound so bad. I can't phrase this in the right way, Mike.
Oh, say it, Carson.
You know when you bite into a cherry tomato and it detonates like you just put like a firecracker in your mouth. You bite into the cherry tomato. Who wants to eat a whole cherry tomato? First,
I agree.
That's
I agree completely.
Cut up the tomato, and Beachley, there's no problem hydrating with a cherry tomato because you bite into it, boom. Like, what do you mean you love when that happens? Like,
it's
so awful.
It's very gross because then it's like your mouth gets covered in umami, like just immediately.
Yes,
like it's.
I didn't even like tomatoes that much to begin with.
Like exactly, I don't either. Like tomatoes are fine, don't get me wrong, but like mainly just because I like the umami taste that they have. But other than that, like when you just get overwhelmed by umami, there is too much MSG. As much as I hate to say, at the end of the day.
When you hear the word cherry bomb, I like legitimately think of a cherry tomato detonating. Like this is just like a stand-up bit. No, this is how I feel This is how I feel. The cherry tomatoes are overrated and overused, and you gotta cut them up. That's it, though. That's it. You just gotta cut up cherry tomatoes. Then you're good. Then they're fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Once they lose that PSI, they've got like built up pressure for something. I don't know what's wrong with them.
But yes, either way, a little bit of tomato is good. A lot of tomato is bad. Thank you, Chrono.
Yes.
Chrono, if only you put as much focus into your practice that you do into cherry tomatoes, then...
Yeah. Raw tomatoes are awful. Yeah, don't eat a raw tomato. That's a quick way to find out you're not eating a great tomato, A. And B, that's a great way to find out that you don't like tomatoes. Because if you like raw tomatoes, I don't trust you. I'm sorry. You gotta prove it to me in another way. You gotta like prove your trust to me twice. Is hey, I practiced this week? Doesn't look like it, bud. Sorry.
Holy smokes! Wow, that was brutal, Carson.
I didn't mean to cook you that. I'm sorry. I'm fired. That's
Also,
actually
Pat
the real
Award's
reason I'm leaving
number
next
2
week,
fan
guys.
does blame me for everything, which is fair
That's
enough.
true. Pato ever has a bad race, blame Mike. When I hit traffic, I blame Mike. Wow. You new car accident, I just call you. I'm like, Mike, why would you do this? That's what I did.
Trying to do like 10 things at once right now, and I'm being derailed. This is just insane.
Got hating on tomatoes. We got Brian Clemente on pole. I think just coming off a win, the 100 car, really, really good lap there. 7/10 over anyone else in his class. Jeff Franks was in first at one point, no longer in first. This track is not getting any better for the rookies, unfortunately. I think it's only gotten wetter. The 73 on the bit of a slip and slide through that section there, and tough scenes for them. Number 73 car going to be sliding. Oh my goodness, an absolute initial D impression there from the Love Wins Racing 73 car. Jeff Franks just absolutely rapid that first race, had a really, really good section, and rookies were a bit tough with the contact, had the pace, didn't have the racecraft, so this is a little bit more like a hovercraft with how much it is on this side. When I stub my toe, it's Mike's fault. I think we can all agree on that. Is a tomato with salt is just biting into it? What? Dude, a tomato with some salt just biting into it? Is that you're saying that's good? Ugh. Not to single you out, Blue. What? Like seriously, you take a tomato and you put salt on it and you bite into that tomato like it is an apple. I mean, I guess I can't judge. I peel limes. That's actually a really good segue here. As sour as some of these qualifying laps have been with how wet it is, I peel limes, and like I peel limes till they're like the green orb. Like you've got like an orange, you know how like you peel oranges? Like I peel limes and eat the lime. I think limes are really good. They're kind of like an amazing snack, and I will die on that hill. But like an apple on a tomato is crazy to me. I don't understand how you can hold a tomato in your hand and have the desire to bite into that. No, I got to cut that up. That's going on my burger tonight. But I do respect the courage it takes to bite into a tomato. I'm afraid of burgers and tomatoes apparently. But Jeff Franks, the 73 car, just slip and slide all around. Brian Clemente up to 1.6 seconds off the lead. Really, really good job from him. Jeff Franks improves by 0.5, but goes to right about the old pole time for Clemente as he includes the other sentences. I think limes are really good. Yes, I peel limes and I eat them like oranges. Yes, that is the thing. Carson, what do you think Ice Spice is going to do to her album flopping? Probably nothing. Probably drop more music that's not great.
I think limes are really good. Carson, do you like limes?
I think I texted you about this at some point, but I remember texting you or someone else I was casting with vividly. Like I was in traffic on the way home and I was going to be maybe late to the stream, and I just sent a picture of it was dead stop traffic of the lime in my hand, like this glowing green orb. I peel limes and I eat them like oranges. I love limes.
You didn't send that to me. I would have remembered that.
It's like sour candy. It's like sour candy, but it's like I don't know. It's like sour
natural
candy. It's like
sour
how I view it.
candy,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, like sour candies for Victorian children who probably like their head might explode upon eating a lime. To be real with you, Warhead.
Older than me.
It's over.
Brian Clemente looks like he will retain his pole position. Jeff Franks is the only driver that really can thwart it, and I do not see that happening. There is a 10th improvement, but it is not going to be enough. Last driver out on track is going to be Moriko Yatanashi, our previous race winner, not gaining any time just yet, though.
Yeah, still an entire sector to go, and half of one that he's already in, the 53 car. Seems to have picked up some damage they never fixed there.
Yeah.
That bonnet is looking like it was in the rain, and quali ends. Bit wide, and was ready for the dry, not ready for the wet, Mike, seems.
Hey, fair enough. They were ready for the race that mattered, so, you know, at the end of the day, can you really fault them for it?
Less competition this race, and with a lot of sliding and a lot of rain, I have to imagine, Mike, it's a downpour out here. I think it's every man for himself. Every man, woman, child, and everybody for themselves.
Certainly will be. And why is... Excuse me? There we go. Okay, that was odd. Either way.
Evil ACC.
The evil ACC TV. It's just... cursed, but either way. Are those... There's a KTM? No. Well, yeah, there is. Joe Fias. My apologies. There's one way down the very... Just
won
about.
It at Mizana.
But either way, let's get on into it and let's meet our drivers for the Open here tonight in the Championship Decider. Chrono versus Mason. Starting us off at the top, though, it's neither of those two drivers. It is Potts Weaver and the number 13 Potts Autosports McLaren lined up alongside, currently sitting 2 points behind in the championship, Mason Perchalski, P2. Casey Schutte, third quickest in the 444 for the CrowdStrike Reckless Racing GT4. Scott Sullivan company for him in fourth, the Honda F1 Concept Aston Martin. Justin Beachley, fifth quickest for the Beach GT, alongside of Joseph Bammert in P6, and Joe Khalil in seventh. Alex Freeman, eighth quickest, with Professor Chronotis, the other championship contender, all the way down in ninth, and rounding out your top 10 is George Elmer.
On pole for the rookies will be Brian Clemente. Second for the rookies and 12th overall will be Jeff Franks. Moriko Yatanashi, 13th overall. Third in the rookies. Joe Fallis, 14th overall. Fourth in the rookies. That KTM already with a race win this year at Misano. And trailed by Spady Bud, who had a quali ban for the Mad Donald's 21 machine.
Yeah, and shorter grid out there today. We only have 15 drivers for this race at Valencia. It's a wet circuit for these drivers to contend with this 2.6 mile or 2.4 mile, 4.0 kilometer circuit with 14 corners, 5 to the right and 9 to the left. Lots of track out there and very, very few cars on circuit, as Nojo Johnson is pointing out.
And it's the last race of the season, and it's been very demeaning, I think, a lot of these drivers when they open the practice server and they're like, man, I had a rough year and it is raining at Valencia. I've never raced this track. I know a lot of guys who, I mean, people rarely race this track. This is the first time I've seen it in the league, Mike, and, well, this is the first time I've seen it in the league, and I've literally never ever seen it in any other league I participated in, broadcasted for, or ever had any affiliation with. Valencia is a underloved track, and it's pretty bland, I have to say, in elevation, but man, the racing can be very, very good, and I think that's what we're going to see off the line tonight. Potts Weaver and Mason Pierchowski, whether it's for the championship or not. I think Mason Pierchowski going to not be too aggressive, but Casey Schutte behind definitely going to be one Potts Weaver's going to watch out for, with nothing to lose and a potential win on the line for the six-shooter, who's emptied half his mag.
Yeah, and really all Mason Perchalski has to do right now is finish ahead of Professor Chronotis, and he has quite the buffer behind. It's looking like it's going to be a walkaway show for the championship, in my opinion, but obviously it's wet conditions. Anything can happen in racing, and it normally does. It is going to be quite the slick track. We can see the rain is falling from the sky, and it looks like it is going to continue as is for the entirety of the session.
It's when it rains, it pours, Mike, and that's how it seems for Professor Chronotis at the start of this race. He's really got to have a generational run here. 2021 Lewis Hamilton, Sao Paulo. That's what it reminds me of in this section. He's just got to find his way to the top. George Elmer, the only driver behind him, and Elmer set a pretty good lap, but unfortunately just slid around too much, not ready for the rain. The BMW seeming to be really unsettled in the rain, to be honest with you. But it's going to be a battle of staying on track between the mayo and the mustard. And yes, it is a really good point from Blue. Staying off the paint in a lot of these sections. You can touch it, but you definitely don't want to be accelerating, or rather starting your acceleration or starting your braking on that.
No, you can see the pools of water on the outside of
Lagoons.
the green. Lagoons of water, sure, if you want to call it that. It's basically a lagoon right now, as the track you can see is swamped out for the most part. There's very low elevation, very high drainage at this circuit, though. It's lots of little, you can see right there, banking on the track, so it actually does drain quite well in real life compared to, well, I mean, ACC, which has a predetermined racing line anyways, does not have, like iRacing does, an active line that gets... what's the word? Developed as time goes on, I suppose. That rubbers in as time goes. Yeah, you don't want to rubber in. You don't want to rubber in though. It's the opposite of rubbering in, to be honest, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. How much did you pay for this puddle? That's the. That was the. I'm very glad somebody got that reference there. Thank you very much, Blue. There's a guy on a social media app who has what he calls a lagoon, and people just call it a puddle, and they just make fun of him. It's so sad, but it is pretty funny. That is a good reference. It is a lagoon. It's Mr. Lagoon, his name is, but I will hope that he can keep his lagoon in shape as we head to the last turn, Mike.
And left my boat at home, says Ducky Plays Games. Yes, indeed, it is a wet one, and these drivers need to be on their absolute best behavior. iRacing mentioned. Dom, when are you coming back to ACC? Either way, also, get me a new song for... I saw your comment at the beginning, but either way... Drivers lined up, 2x2 Noah's Ark formation as we have at 15 cars on the grid here tonight. I'm Mike Nause. Joined with me tonight is Carson Kass as we approach the timing board. It's Potts Weaver on pole position, Mason Perchowski in second. We are green now, heading down to the 90-degree first corner, and immediately Mason Perchowski and Potts Weaver even heat at the start. Down into the first corner, that's going to be Casey Schutte sending it to the inside, actually, of Mason Perchowski. Mason isn't going to fight this one too much. He has absolutely no need to. Justin Beachley meleeing behind right now with the likes of Scott Sullivan down to the inside of the Honda F1 concept car. He makes that one stick like glue. Now behind the likes of Mason Perchowski. Ooh, a little bit late though, late onto the throttle, and a bit of a concertina effect afterwards. I think Professor Chronotis checked into the back bumper there of Joe Khalil. Right now though, you can see Chronotis and both the championship contenders on screen in the same frame. Chronotis, he's got some work to do.
Yeah, 3 cars ahead of him is his championship contender, but if there's one thing that Professor Chronotis can do, and we know, is his race pace, no matter what, is always, it seems to be better than his quality pace, except if you're a Bathurst. But we're just at a bath here tonight. It is raining and pouring. The 42 car has got a lot more race pace, I think, in this, and it's not curtains for Mason Pierchowski tonight.
Yeah, it's certainly, and Chronotis here currently up 2 positions. He needs to find some more. We got cheers in chat for Chrono. He's going to need a bit more than that. He needs the overtakes early as the grid is going to start to fan out. Joseph Bammert not going to hand this position over easily, I would imagine. Scott Sullivan, we all know how much of a fighter he can be throughout the entirety. He is one of those rookies that has graduated up into the tops. And speaking of rookies, Alex Freeman, I think, has had contact with one.
I'm not quite sure what happened there. Jump on the instant replay, but I do want to mention, I'm curious if Professor Chronotis is going to jump into the pits. Freeman there in this turn. I have to imagine there's not many there. Yep. A McLaren pirouette into the racing line, and oh. three cars unfortunately get caught in it, but keep in mind, Mason Pierchowski lost that race last week because of this strategy. Professor Chronotis, and I called it. Mark it down in your notebooks that I know you all have in the TRACKILICIOUS bingo sheet right next to it. Mason Pierchowski comes into the pits. That's going to be his strategy. Clean air in the rain, and Chrono's strategy in this race to try and keep himself ahead. Mason Pierchowski down a position, and looking like it might be 2. Beachley on his inside.
Yeah, this is the other championship contender that we mentioned briefly. Technically, mathematically is in it. However, I don't think there are enough drivers for him to actually be mathematically in this, even if they were to finish last and second to last. Justin Beachley put up a good fight this year, and you can see he's going to continue it. Scott Sullivan, though, going for trying to pounce onto the back corner there. That is a very ambitious move and very, very optimistic at best, especially in these wet conditions. You need to be so careful and prioritize adhesion over ambition, and unfortunately, we have seen a bit of the opposite in these races tonight.
Yeah, and I'm really wondering how that Professor Chronotis strategy is going to end up, because that is, I think, just going to be the best one. You don't have to worry about defending. You don't have to worry about anything like that. I'd like to see Mason respond by pitting early as well and making it just an outright race of pace. And because I think that's where he thinks he's going to win it, and I think he knows he has more pace, and I think he thinks he has more pace. And if he does, he should maybe do what Potts Weaver is doing here and hang on to the lead there. Casey Schutte right in the back bumper nearly of Potts Weaver, but this battle is not going anywhere. Neither of these in championship contention, but the battling still fierce.
No, these two guys are going to be at it for a while, I would imagine. Let's see if Casey can get a win here tonight. He hasn't found one he found one recently, if I'm not mistaken. Looking at the standings, Casey Schutte was currently fully alongside. No, he's not. What am I talking about? It's just the spray is so thick you can't even see him as he disappears into the distance. Potts Weaver pulls a couple meters ahead, and that's enough to make that vision be irrelevant. This is a battle between Moriko Yatanashi, George Elmer, and Jeff Franks. Jeff Franks, there almost a bit of a miscommunication, sends it. Oh, Moriko late onto the brakes, takes out the white plate of George Elmer, and I think they'll be kicking themselves for that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, and accelerating too fast on the paint, and that's unfortunately the dry line there. We'll take a quick look on the replay here. Yatanashi dives down that inside line and breaks exactly where you needed to on the dry line, but unfortunately in the rain, not going to do too much there. Bumps the Jägermeister car off, but the orange is the better one here, as they're going to see a pirouette trying to escape off track, which they do successfully by just a few meters.
Yeah, unfortunately, Moriko did donuts there in the last race as a race winner, now doing donuts with 40 minutes remaining in the session and dropping down into third to last now.
Yes, Casey runs the fastest lap last lap. Very, very interesting to see what happens here. He's got a little bit of a move on the inside, got more pace, got a better exit. Seeing where he's going to end up, he's going to just go nip and tuck and wait for a better opportunity after this turn. He grinds that curb real hard. He's going to just stay on the paint there. Not enough of a run he's going to get here on this section. Right behind him, he's just really, really trying to get everything he can sliding, but there's just not enough traction here. It'll be all down to the exit, and we know the Aston Martin's got a massive amount of less kilograms here, as I think it's going to be a pretty good cut and clean and dry here if Casey Schutte can get the toe.
Yeah, it certainly will. And one thing that I'd be interested to find out is who the faster car is, and that would be very easy to find out if I had remembered to restart pit wall, which I didn't. And there's battling happening as... There you go, Carson.
I mean, it hasn't worked for over a month, so I'll give you grace on that one. Casey Schutte, just not the cleanest of lines here for that Aston Martin, the Reckless Racing. A bit reckless on track right now, spinning and sliding just about everywhere. The 444 car, though, is keeping pace with Potts Weaver. These two are kind of in their own island right now as the water fills in between them and the cars behind Pierchowski. Not a lot of pace right now. I don't know about Pierchowski's chances right here. Professor Granotis is going to get so much time in that back end. I don't know where he's going to come out, but we'll just have to see. It'll be a game of waiting, as it always is in racing. But no yellow flags means, I guess, no surprises in terms of when a race will stop and when a pit strategy should take place, as Spady Bud looks to pull off the track on that other end. RTG's tough race.
That's not even that is an Alt F4 if I've ever seen one. That is not even a return to garage. That is, I have had enough tonight, and yeah, calling it early. Also, a great question from Blue Dream 808, and Dom also on top of it, making the answers happen early on. Well, if you are interested in joining the Trackalicious, why don't we take a look at our calendar real quick, which is going to be kind of irrelevant, I'm not going to lie. Most of this calendar is in the past, unfortunately. However, if you keep an eye on Discord, we will be announcing a new calendar within the next few days. I can assure you, by the end of this week, we will have the new schedule released, and the really only things I guess you need to know about on this calendar is the GT3 finals. If you are looking to drive a GT3 car in a Trackless Championship, that is still on the cards. Spa-Francorchamps is next week. We had to redo this championship, or redo that event due to the fact that servers were being servers and breaking when we needed them, unfortunately. And we have to redo Spa, so if you want to sign up for that, that is available. That will be this coming Sunday. And beyond that, we have West Coast Wednesday. That's going to be August 7th in the finals at Brands Hatch. That championship is still available for sign up as well. We have our Hot Lap championships going on SimGrid as well. Those are kind of low-key ones that aren't streamed, or they're just done in Hot Lap servers, so kind of done at your own, I think, volition, however you would like to. It's another fun championship to just kind of compete with others to see where you fall in the pecking order, and it's overall very fun. We also have the Nordschleife on the 24th. That is going to be for the esports, the Community World Challenge, qualifiable to the SimGrid Community World Challenge. Also, thank you very much to Delta Retired for the follow. Much appreciated. We have the Nordschleife coming up, also one bigly. Flipping amazing, donating $5. Thank you so much for your continued support, one bigly. You are an absolute legend.
Absolute legends all around here. If you'd like to join the community, as we mentioned, exclamation mark SimGrid, exclamation mark Discord, or two great places to do so. Blue posted them in chat just a moment ago. But these those that fuel the community, the V12 Exotics, the V8 Muscles, the Inline 4, all Patreon donors, we appreciate you very, very much. My name's on the top there because of alphabetical order, I promise. I'm not actually special on that other end, but so big of a thank you to all of these guys who keep these servers running, keep them chugging, keep them fueled. But yeah,
and a race, please. Yes, race. Sorry, we have to do this, chat.
Nothing happened,
and there has been nothing that has happened. However, Justin Beachley has caught the back of Mason Perchalski, so we are joining at a pretty apt time, to be completely honest. We haven't missed anything though, chat. I promise you that. I've been keeping an eye.
And yeah.
Oh, and they're now
right
going for
underway
it.
Here. There you go.
Goes to the inside, able to get it done through the second corner, moving on to the third now. Justin Beachley swims through, and Mason Perchalski is dispatched. Now there are only... Wait, no. It's up in the air. Obviously, Chronotis is in the back of the grid right now, but is lapping quicker than Mason. Mason last time around is a 45, and actually... Chrono, even on his own, is still a second slower. Chrono needs to find some pace. Maybe being in this traffic is actually helping Mason and getting that just able to push a little bit more out of him than he would on his own.
Yeah, and I think it does, because you have to make the right call. What do you think is going to be better in this track? Are you going to risk the damage? Or are you going to risk going by yourself on that other end and having maybe a bit of a slower pace and straight lines and all that? But Mason Perchalski going to be under threat again. Bammer with the fastest lap. Didn't have that on my Trackalicious bingo card. Trademark doesn't actually exist. Don't look that up. On the other end, there, the number 10 car is just absolutely under pressure all the time, it feels. And honestly, he's going to really need to pick his pace up if he wants to, A, get a podium in this race, but B, he'll be fine as long as he just keeps the pace up overall.
Yeah, he just needs to finish ahead of Chrono. That's the only goal for Mason, and I don't think he's really focused on much else. I think it's about survival right now, as these conditions are not going to be favoring the Camaro in particular. It is a foot full of torque and not much traction. We're about to find out, though. Did Chronotis' pit strategy pay off? How many positions has he gained in relation, or rather, how much time has he gained or lost in relation? Mason Perchalski is our third driver to make a pit stop tonight.
Yeah, so it's an overall 29.9 second stop for Perchalski, or for Professor Chronotis, so we'll have to see where he ends up. But looking right now that it's about a 30 to 40 second gap, depending on where Chronotis comes out. But we'll take a look at that momentarily. Pots Fever right back. With pressure on the rear end, Casey Shude seems to have locked in the Reckless Racing GT4. A little bit less reckless. Those lines are a bit cleaner. Up to just about a second, or just over a second, between the two drivers.
Yeah, I don't think Casey has any... He's not in any hurry right now of making an overtake, and he's making that quite clear. I think he would take it if it was the opportunity presented itself. He would go for it. However, right now there's 33 minutes left in this race. Still one mandatory pit stop. It's about how does how does it go? Jeff Franks is who you, I'm assuming, looking at right now.
No. What happened to Mason? No, he didn't. Never mind. So I had an ACC TV moment. It told me that he had actually a 79-second stop, and I was like, how did that even happen? It hasn't even been 79 seconds. But nope. Mason comes out a solid far.
10 seconds.
9. It's actually 9 seconds, Mike. It's actually 9.8.
Thanks.
Either way, bigger gap than when he started. Probably not what Chronos was hoping for, but all you have to do with 32 minutes to go is lap faster than Mason about a full second for the next 9 laps straight, and then they'll be right there.
Yeah, Chrono hasn't been able to put a faster lap in than Mason yet, though, which is that needs to change, and it needs to change quick if he wants to win this race. And it's not changing. I'm going to be completely honest. I think Mason has this one in the bag, to be completely honest. He made the right stop. It's about mistakes. If he does spin, obviously, that's at the end of the day. That's the one variable that is still possible, and the Camaro is more likely to spin than the AMG, in my opinion.
Yeah, we could have many Mason Perchalskis tonight. Mason Perchampski, Mason Pieretsky, or, Mason Pure Pitstopski. We just had many variations of him on that section. But yes, 30 minutes left. And Mason Pure, we don't drive on paper ski. It's going to be all down to that. But has really bent it a few times. Like, absolutely last minute, like, just made his bad send. But that's fighting for position, and that's typically where you lose it. And tonight, as long as he's ahead of Professor Chronotis, I don't even think it's going to be a problem. He's got clean air. He's got Scott Sullivan behind him by about 5 seconds, who's just, I believe, gone into the pits. Nope, almost went into the pits. I thought he was diving in there. He just had a very, very wide exit there. But the 10 car is relatively safe. You see Professor Chronotis, he's the second car back there on that straight line.
Yeah, and then we have multiple cars still to pit, and when cars start pitting, that's going to make more and more cars separating Mason and Chrono by the end of this. I think there'll be 4 cars between the two, and we'll see. I mean, I know there's 30 minutes left, Veg, I know, and I know that Chronotis is driving the AMG. I'm also aware of that fact, so, you know, there's some biases out there. Look, I'm not going to count the underdog out, but I think Chronotis right now is definitely the underdog.
Give that a big thumbs up emoji. I don't have really much else to say about that. The Tiswa's Delicious car, iconic in nature, but unfortunately under the effects of nature right now. Maybe in a dry race this is to be better for him rather than Mason, as that has been proven so far. Mason's really not beaten Professor Chronotis all that much in terms of raw pace. It's just kind of been luck for him with Professor Chronotis crashing out, or Professor Chronotis beating him by first and second. But Pots Weaver, Casey Shooty getting a little bit closer, a little bit farther every single lap. It's a bit of a bungee cord, like one of those. I don't know, is that a bungee cord? Sorry, I was trying to throw it off.
Like an elastic band, I mean, you could also say.
Yeah, my brain is, like we mentioned, kind of like pineapple fried rice right now.
40 hours old right now in terms of hours awake, so not ideal.
Don't get insomnia, guys.
Brian Clementi still retaining the lead of the race for the red plates. Moriko Yatanashi in second and Jeff Franks in third. But right now, I think the real talk of the town is the white plates, and keeping it up at the top is Potts Weaver, and Ducky Plays Game pointing out how far Potts has come. He was once a rookie. Keep that in mind. This was once a rookie driver leading the Open now. So if that is something that you would like to do yourself as a driver, it is certainly possible. There's a lot of rookies graduating up into the Open class, and they're going to be gaining talent left and right.
Yeah, we had a lot of graduates, I think, this year. Casey gets a lot closer and a lot farther real quick. That is a bit reckless from his car there. A bit massive jump over the... Wow, he gained time on that? Okay, never mind.
Not really.
Yeah.
Kept it even.
I think Potts Weaver made a bit of a mistake there, too, as well. Just going deep and all. So I can't actually see the timing chart because of this light. So I'm going to... I hope it doesn't break. Yes. Let's go, guys.
Super excited to graduate, quote unquote, into the Open class. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and we use that term very loosely as well. It's just kind of for lack of a better term, I suppose.
There is no ceremony.
Yeah, there is no ceremony. There is no champagne popping. It is a very unglorious move up, and then you're going to be feeling a lot slower because you're going to be racing with people a lot faster. So it's a good thing until, you know, it's a good thing. It's a great thing. So just don't let it get you down in the morals.
It's going to be the best thing ever. Is that gap now 11 seconds, Pierzowski and Chronotis. I think your prediction is right. Professor Chronotis is going to hope for a Mason Pirouetski, I think, tonight. But other than that, not much they can do.
Yeah, need to push yourself more, Nojo Johnson. You know, one of the things I always like to say is just push yourself more than last time. Don't push yourself more, because if you keep pushing, it'll get to an unsustainable level. Just make sure it's sustainable, you know? Don't burn yourself out. Don't let it get to you. That was one of my biggest problems when I drove, is you take it a little bit too personally, and you'd let your driving skills, which you're comparing to other people's driving skills, which comparison is the death of all fun, and we all know that. So, just be better than yourself. That's my recommendation.
Yeah. As an athlete, comparison is the thief of joy, and that's kind of how it goes in every little section. It's tough. It's very, very tough to get through that kind of mental state. And as somebody who has to deal with that a lot of the time, reaching goals, you have to reward yourself for getting close to your goal. But you have to understand that reward will never be as good as you want. You want to have the mindset where that goal is the reward. Like, you can reward yourself by being like, man, I did a really good job today. I'm gonna go relax on the couch for the next 8 hours instead of practicing for the next 8 hours because I did a really good job practicing today. Always make sure to comply with what you want and comply with what your goals want.
Yeah, exactly. And compare yourself to yourself, and there will always be better and worse people than, yeah, exactly. And you can just be a better version of yourself than last time, and that is what I always say. And if you're not, and try to be a better version of yourself than last time again. You know, that's, oh my goodness, Joe Fias. What a drift! What a save! What a drift! And what? Let's catch a replay of that. That's the most exciting thing we've seen in the past 10 minutes.
Yep, Jujutsu Kaisen on the side. It should be initial D.
The
What
replay
a
didn't
slide!
work.
That's not Jujutsu Kaisen. I lied, but
There we go. Now it's
no,
worked.
wait! Here it is. Watch this beautiful drift. Should have been an initial D on the side of the car. Oh, great save! Please don't clip that. Please don't clip that.
I'm not clipping that. It's still, we're still in the replay. And now we are back live. Okay, there we go.
What?
Do you know how they live in Tokyo? Cue
Nause?
music.
Is that a reference?
Yeah.
Like I'm like 13 years old. Like
It's
I make
Tokyo
Jake
Drift,
Love.
brother.
Okay. Oh. Ah. I don't know lyrics. I don't know names, Mike. I don't know anything. Best vocals in the modern era.
Me.
100 Gex. Okay. 100 Gex. I'll put you guys on King Cruel. King Cruel. King space Krule.
Fair enough. I'd recommend twitch.tv/TRACKILICIOUS. Best vocals on the planet here,
Yes.
found from absolutely all of the commentators.
Best reactions. Best reactions on the planet. Come on,
True.
guys. This is truly a clip reaction channel. No, honestly, I don't think that's even like making you feel old, because that was part of my. I think that's very transcendent. I think that is very transcendent among a lot of people. I just am an idiot. Is more the problem there with that, Ducky. Beyonce's a really good shout. Ariana Grande is also a really good shout.
Also, one shout as well. I wanted to give a shout out to all the people over on YouTube. We haven't mentioned them in a very long while. I know we have Pato Ward's number 2 fan that is over there on the YouTube side, as well as a few others. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are interested, for example, I know some of the Brazilian viewers maybe want some subtitles. There are subtitles available. They are English subtitles, but it still helps. Let's be real. So that is over on YouTube if that's something that interests you. An exclamation mark. Do I have YT? Does that work? No, it doesn't work. I'll have to make that.
You wouldn't do that.
I will do
Do
that.
Mike. You would never. You would never.
Oh no, it's not looking good for the Commonwealth Pride. Oh no, JP. Yeah.
I'm sorry, JP. It's a gap that's ever increasing. I don't know why I looked at my watch. I legitimately was like trying to open ACC TV, and I just looked at my watch like the timing was going to appear on that. Either way, the gap is increasing. It's just going up. It's a lot worse than it was. I'm not even going to say the time. It's gone almost closer to 20 than it was 10.
And as I predicted, there are now 3 drivers in between. I think there's still one more. No, there's still 2 more. Oh, there might even be 3 more drivers actually that need to go in between them as well. Mason just has to keep it on track. That is the only goal right now for Mason Perchalski. If he can do that, he will win this championship.
Yeah, I'm watching this at work in the middle of a conference. The subtitles are working great on YouTube. Yeah, if you guys are watching this without headphones, or you want to watch this without headphones, if you probably are watching without headphones on Twitch right now, so I don't know how I would ever reach you, but go watch it on YouTube with closed captioning. It helps a lot. Where you can just watch it in public places if you don't bring the right equipment, headphones die. Watch it at the gym. I don't know. Which I feel like you'd have headphones, but don't.
You better have
pretend you
headphones
don't
at the
have
gym.
Hey, man.
I mean,
Sometimes
unless you're on silent. If you're on silent, it's fine. I'm watching. Like if if you're doing
Oh,
subtitles.
No, I'm
that's
not
fine.
like. I'm not like.
You're not
phone
that
to
guy
ear
that
at
has
the
the phone
gym.
in the pocket that's blasting the music as he walks around while it's sticking halfway out of his back pocket because he's wearing way too tight shorts. You know who I'm talking about.
jorts.
You know, chat. You know
Jorts.
exactly who I'm talking about.
It's also jorts.
It could be
it's
jorts. It could be the tennis shorts as well that have the rear pocket.
Yes, the ones that I wear all the time, to be honest with you. But they're really comfy, and I wear headphones, so I think I'm exemplified. We have officially hit the halfway mark with that point of jorts and shorts. It's all denim jeans for Potts Weaver right now, who sits in the front of the lap. But Casey Schutte, oh, my brain is. Sorry, I tried to keep it through there, but my brain is just too fried, guys.
To be fair, there is not much
been too awake.
happening on track right now. This is the closest battle, and Adam Strange has bought some Logan Sargent merch. That's going to be valuable in the next few years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once Logan
Vintage.
Sargent makes the IndyCar champion, and then all of a sudden, who's going to be laughing now?
You mean next year?
Maybe next.
next
More
year?
likely 26 to be completely honest, or 27.
Yeah.
But
On that note, I am very interested to see who that Prema outfit
26.
signs. But that's a very, very weird team that I never would have expected to be in that sport.
Yeah, Premic for it's the Italian team out there joining the ranks from MotoGP. Been doing very well. Obviously, Jorge Martin has not been doing so well the past few races. But we'll see. I'm a Pecco fan. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I like Bagnaia. I'm rooting for Bagnaia, but don't get me wrong. I'd like to see Jorge Martin win a championship. That'd be pretty cool.
Hey, Premic or Prema? I meant Prema.
Oh, Prema.
Like
oh,
the-
I thought
yeah,
you meant
Prema.
Primic. My
No,
bad.
not Premic. I meant Prema's one I'm way more interested in. I apologize for.
My
but,
bad. I didn't know that Prima existed. What is Prima?
Fun fact about Prema International. There's a place somewhere in Indianapolis called Prema International, unrelated entirely to the actual racing team, but it's in Carson Square. So there's a place in Indianapolis that's named after me, of course. There's only
What
one explanation.
Is it? I still don't know.
Prema Racing?
Yeah, what is Prima Racing? I don't know what it is.
It's where Ollie Behrman races right now. It's that group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have an IndyCar outfit, and I'm wondering because they're really good at F2 and F3, and they won the championship back-to-back years in both. I'm very, very curious to see how they do in IndyCar.
Prima. Oh my god.
Dude, I can't pronounce words. We know this. Prema, whatever. It's like no imagination.
I don't know why. No, to be fair, I don't know why
Imagination.
I don't know why I didn't pick that up. To be clear, I think that was my bad.
I've never heard the word out loud, so my head hurts. Yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of head hurting. I think that goes on sometimes in these streams, and the Rookies
Primic's-
was a lot more.
Apparently, Primic's a YouTuber too, so it adds even more confusion to this entangled web of names that sound relatively similar or the exact same.
Primitive caveman. If you are a Neanderthal fan,
What? Where did primitive
Is
come
that-
from?
I don't know. Prim. I got
Okay,
the first
fair
4 letters, and I was
Fair
like,
enough.
I don't know. Neanderthal. If you're a big Neanderthal fan, I'm a big Neanderthal fan. Probably the best era of humans ever. Probably
Hot take,
probably the best, my
okay.
favorite. Hot take. I really like these square-shaped, enormous skulls. That's kind of my, kind of digged it. Wish we could go back to that era.
We've gone thoroughly off the rails here. How is the YouTube chat going? Watching during heart surgery, the person might not make it, but who knows? Hey, if you're watching while giving heart surgery, shout out to you.
More Clemente coverage. That is a really good point.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's
Yeah,
where we
can
are right
cover-
now. Brian
Oh,
Clemente.
True.
Yeah, you've already done it. Clemente tracing Khalil here. He's a bit faster than the white plate driver, and I think 21 seconds. Yeah, 21 seconds out of second place in the rookie class. So, if it's not a bad race for him, he can keep it straight. He'll be all right. But obviously going for more overall positions now. And Joe Khalil next up on the chopping block. But there's about 30 seconds between them and the next driver.
They have health, F1 or healthcare. Those are two very, very
You
common.
wouldn't need helmets if you were a Neanderthal.
I
You
mean,
would. You
to
would.
be fair, they didn't wear helmets in like 50 years ago while playing football. So
I mean, yeah, but that's because we didn't understand how the brain worked.
you think the Neanderthals understood how the brain worked?
No, but if there was like somebody who had the same thickness of a head, the joke was that like
Oh, their
you could
head's
maybe
thick
you could
enough to
maybe
be
get
a
away
helmet.
with it.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Rugby
I'm
graded
a
in
rugby
football.
player.
Carson would agree.
I'm not even gonna. No, I actually
Oh.
won't. I played both, and I
Well,
will die on that hill.
I
like
guess I'll
football
just
better.
leave.
I'll go equal. But I like playing rugby better. I like watching football more. Football is something that I hope to commentate one day on one of the main networks. That's the ultimate goal. That or baseball. Or
Yeah,
racing.
see, I
Yes,
got
now.
ambitions like commentating racing and commentating billiards. You know, I don't think I have quite the same ambitions.
Hey man, different folks, different strokes. I think on that one, and I hope to be working at Fox Sports or CBS Sports or NBC Sports, all those places in billiards. I will watch every single time if you're commentating billiards, because I know you would make billiards electric.
I would enjoy it.
It's a phrase. It's a phrase. Mike's dropped it 35 times. It's the first time I've said it. Come on. Tonight, but... it's a cook Carson night. My last Monday, and we're just like roast. It's an open.
We got to get it out
while
we got to get it out while we can. To be fair, we're running out of opportunities. So,
Jeff Frank's drive-through penalty, a lap down, going to serve it right now, I believe, or is in the pit lane. I'm not quite sure. They need to just serve. They're just serving the drive-through. Anyway, Brian Clemente a bit unsettled there. Kept it right. Is if you commentate the Super Bowl, can we all get free tickets? I have no way to contact you, Adam Strange. So as of now, no, but maybe in the future. I don't know what any of your social media is. I don't even know how to message people on Twitch. So I don't think there'd be a realistic way I could transfer you the Super Bowl tickets. But maybe. I definitely know a few people. I would do my best to get a Trackalicious box, guys.
Ooh, that would be sweet. Now
That'd be
you're
a lot of
talking.
money.
That would be an insane amount of money. Yeah.
That'd be my salary.
At the
even
Super Bowl.
If I was,
Yeah.
I could maybe slime my way into a ticket for one person.
Well, Adam Strange, he's in line.
I mean, unfortunately, your first mic is Carson
Hey, I'll
Roast.
take
You
it.
look like you're dressed for a funeral, bro. If I showed up to a funeral like this, I would kick me out. I would kick me out if I showed up in a heather gray. I mean, charcoal gray polo.
There would have to be a second funeral, is what you're telling me.
No, I mean, I'd be escorted off the premises by security very calmly, because I would understand if I was wearing this why I would be leaving. Yeah. Do not show up to a funeral in this outfit.
My water bottle is average sized, One Bigly. I will have you know. Potts Weaver is off, everybody. Potts Weaver has made a mistake. We have an update. Let's see what happened. It's self-inflicted error. And into the first corner. This is going to be a case of late onto the brakes and off onto the green stuff. No, it's not actually. It's a case of on the throttle too early. My apologies. It's a very uncharacteristic mistake. Potts Weaver drops it. Wow, they have a large gap. Oh no, well, that gap is going to be a lot
when it rains, it pours,
smaller.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's finding the gamer line.
Gamer line. Gotta put respect on that one. A bit of a slowdown to just make sure he doesn't get like a 37-second penalty for that one, but I don't think it's going to matter. He was off for so long. I don't even like football. I just want to see the halftime show. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of the Super Bowl appeal is for a lot of people. And I think that's one of the weird things is the halftime Super Bowl has gotten a lot of my friends into football who have never liked football.
Well, the quality of my stream is 160p, so for you should be able to change that. Is the stream should be good? I realized that mine went down in quality at one point, but I think that's just, it's fine. Also, YouTube cooking out very well. We got high quality content over on YouTube. 1080p, 60 FPS all the way around. Stream is fine. Lovely. Okay, good. Just had to confirm.
I didn't know you could change the... Oh, you go.
No, I was going to say, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to be completely unrelated. We were 13 minutes away from the end of the race, but I didn't know you could change like the resolution of the screen you were watching. So I would just like watch videos in 344p or whatever for like the longest time, just thinking that that's how you had to see it. And then like sometimes you'd get lucky and get a 1080p video. I was a stupid 10-year-old.
Quality definition for sure. Quality content is debatable. Okay, good. Quality should be better. The stream should be double the bitrate since our, not last stream, but since the stream before that. Now the new computer, we're running a double bitrate what we were previous, and we're streaming on 2 platforms, so.
You're looking for more on-track action next season. ! SimGrid to come join the track. And on Trackalicious, you can race. You can race the cars. You can drive them. It'd be awesome. And the GT4 Open is one of the, I guess, underrated series here. The GT4s are so much fun to drive, and I have to recommend at least giving it a shot once or twice in the rookie series. You can race. I want you to join Trackalicious as my final wish. I'm not like parting. I'll be back here and I will live. But like, again, Instagram is Carson, CARSON _Kass, KASS _ to I guess check out the rest of my life.
For the auto HD for YouTube extension, that's not a bad shout, actually. Typically it auto HDs it anyways, but sometimes it just doesn't, and you're like, what the heck? Why am I watching on 720p? This is unbearable. Man, imagine saying that 10 years ago. Carson's like, imagine talking 10 years ago.
True, actually. I was a late-stage development child.
Subtle plug for Carson Live? Yeah, but Carson can plug his Instagram if he wants. He can post the link in chat. I don't care.
I'm not posting the link. I will just post. I'll write it out, though.
Just send it to Twitch, but okay.
I am.
Keep that. Wait, what? What did I miss?
That's my Instagram.
There.
Boom, right there in chat. Copy and paste that. Not the ad, just the everything but the ad. And into the Instagram browser. You'll get me. There's not even a picture of my face on the actual page. It's just the profile picture. I don't upload pictures of my face for some reason. I'm just like there's like 6 selfies in my phone, and all of them are for the Wednesday stream, which you should absolutely check out. Quick plug for that. Wednesday will be a lot of fun. A lot in store there.
Certainly will be. Also, Morico, drive-through penalty.
Well, I thought it was going to affect the drivers a lot more.
Didn't affect the...
It
it literally didn't affect the
people.
order.
Yes. Expected 2 people. Syntho Drive, really, really good points. Syntho Drive this Wednesday as well. But afterwards, I will be promoting donations. I will not be hosting donations on my own Twitch, but I will just be promoting donating to the Shed Aquarium because it's been my favorite aquarium since I was a little kid, and I'm moving away for college. So you can do that. I'm not going to track it. I just want you guys to consider doing it. That's kind of the whole deal. It's in my own stream. I'll be racing... news dropping in VR in a full racing suit because I can't put the helmet on, so I'm just going to do the full racing suit with a VR headset. Never driven in VR before. I'm considering practicing, but I think it'd be way funnier not to practice. So we'll have to see how that goes for me. Probably pretty bad, but we'll have a lot of good sections there. The theme is a Brat Summer car, the Brat car. Fueled by Charlie XCX and Chapel Roan. There's a Chapel Roan bumper sticker on it if you saw that in liveries.
Yeah. It's very, very green. And it is, in fact, after Syntho. Yes, it is after Syntho Drive at 8 o'clock Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, Pat Award, Timber 2 fan, hoping for more crashes, because crashes are fun when nobody gets hurt. But a lot of hurt pride in crashes, Mike, and I think that's another thing is with these drivers. Is in the rain, I think you got to forgive yourself sometimes. Like, if I'm Potts Weaver right now, I hope Potts Weaver is not beating themselves up for that, because that's it's just something that happens. It's like a 1 in a million mistake for a guy like that, and yeah, happens, right?
Yep, it happens to the best of us, happens to the worst of us, mostly the worst of us, but it does happen to absolutely everybody.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Yep, true, preach. But back and forth now has Pierchowski and Beachley passed him, and 3 cars between Chrono and Pierchowski, and about 23-ish seconds. So,
yeah, and tough. It will be a 4th car relatively soon when Casey Schutte, the last driver, decides to make a pit stop. He will come out ahead of Professor Chronotis. It's going to be a tough one if Chrono is to win this championship. Mason would require quite the binning.
No, he's gonna Casey when he pits. He's a full minute ahead of everybody, so he's gonna pit and he'll be fine. He'll come out a full 30 seconds ahead of everybody else. As long as he doesn't take tires for some reason, right?
No, we've mandatory fixed time here. 25 fixed seconds, so he's going to come out behind Justin. Or he might be coming out ahead. It's going to be close.
Everybody else has been everybody else has been 30 seconds. He's a full minute ahead.
He's going to be 10 seconds ahead of Beachley. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Casey, 1-horse race at the top for the most part. As we're seeing...
just
60 No, he's going to come out just in front of Justin. No. My math was right the first time. Yes. Yeah, he's gonna come out in front of him unless he has a bad stop. It's very close right now. Average stop time that we're seeing is roughly 55 seconds, and there's currently 60 seconds between them. So it's still on for Justin.
My ACC TV has a comma after the 5, so it's actually saying 5,000 seconds. I don't know why it's doing that.
Because it's broken.
It's evil. It's evil. Yeah. It's evil to me. Just me. Specifically me, I've got the cursed copy of everything. I don't think that's ever happened to me before, but it happens. Dang, Stream
Unfortunately, it
Espresso.
does.
That's harsh. That's real harsh.
Man, nobody was saying that 4 months ago. It's crazy how short of time Lando has just become the villain of Formula One.
And I mean, I'm an Oscar Piastri fan, which is why I like McLaren.
Same.
But I'm not going to go ahead and say out there that guy... Oh, Potts.
Potts, no! We'll take the camera off you,
Papaya
Potts.
McLaren, rough race for them. But P6, tough. But, I mean, I've never loved Lando, but I like... are you going to fault the millions of people in the world who are just voting for Lando Norris as the driver of the day? That's the worst problem with Lando Norris for a lot of the people? Like, people get very mad at that. And I don't understand that fully about a fan vote. Because, like, the fan votes are obviously always going to be a popularity contest. That's the problem with the All-Star game in every single American sports foundation. The White Sox nearly had the worst catcher in baseball be elected to be an All-Star starter because people thought it would be funny. Like, it's a tough thing where you have to, like... I understand why people dislike Lando in some senses, but I think you gotta chill it on the fan vote part of it, because it's not like Lando Norris is tapping in, summoning the millions of people to vote for him for driver of the day like it is like in a button on his steering wheel.
Also, it's not like driver of the day does literally anything. That's kind of my biggest thing.
They don't get $1. They don't get $1. They don't get $1. They don't get any points. It means nothing.
But you were there for his first race win.
I was there for Lando's first win, and I was very, very excited because I've been a McLaren fan for a very, very long time, and I obviously saw Lewis Hamilton depart when I was a very, very young child, and that was tough. So it's nice to win one.
Chat is very much against Lando.
Get it?
Again, I feel like if I was to say
I'm not gonna make you like him, but I'm a Kendrick level hater for Lando. Crazy statement.
Wow, that is a legitimate. That's based. I don't know, and maybe.
I mean, that's like hateful. That's like
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like tough. That's.
I think Lando is a good guy, but
like, and then again, like that's like Twitter. That's like you basing your opinion on, like, a lot of people base their opinion on Lando. Not you, sorry, specifically, but a lot of people base their opinion on Lando based on Twitter. Like, Lando's not out there summoning fans to like praise him. He's just out there racing, man. It's a bunch of millionaires on track, and I think a lot of the time the social media has gotten very, very toxic. And I use this point to say, everybody, please be cautious. You are talking to a real person on social media. Follow us off on that right side. He'll lose some more time. Going to stay off to let other drivers pass because he's already a few laps down. But please understand, you're talking to another person on that screen when you are using social media, and there is no need to be mean or toxic to the other person on screen. They are real, and they do have opinions that unfortunately sometimes you don't agree with and might be literally wrong, like straight up wrong fact. But sometimes you just got to live with it.
Yeah. Very much
Especially
so.
I get that in a Twitch chat though. Like, that's fine. Go ahead.
How's it going, Lizzie? Welcome, Lizzie, joining us. We don't got much going on right now. I'll just be the first one to admit it. Mason Perchalski looking like he's going to win this championship. And, yeah.
I'm preaching
And Casey
about kindness.
Schuette's looking like he's going to win the race.
What was that?
As he goes off. Don't get a drive through, Casey.
Welcome back, Lando Norris, Canada. 2024. Who was I thinking? What was the last time a championship was won by a certain driver? It was a really, really recent one where the race was not won by either driver in the championship battle. I can't remember it.
Max?
No. Like,
I don't fully understand.
Like the last race of the season was like a battle between two drivers, but neither of those drivers even came close to the podium. I can't remember what year that was.
I'm sure it's been multiple years.
Yeah, but it's like one year I'm specifically thinking of, but I don't know. Does YouTube chat agree with me? That's a really good point. I'm bad at reading YouTube chat.
YouTube chat does not like Lando.
Not as much as you. Like, not as much as an agreement with you in terms of how extreme it is, but yeah. I mean,
chat is in fact YouTube chat is like you. They are not like us, if you get what I'm saying. I had to say it. Look.
Good one. I mean, that was good. I had nothing else to say. I mean, that was good.
Wait, in
Brought me
F1?
to Euphoria. Great reference.
Haven't raced in GT4 now. Lizzie, we got the new Rookie Series coming out soon, and well as the new GT4 Open if you're looking to join. We haven't released it just yet, but it will be released soon enough, so I'd highly recommend checking that out.
Out of word, I can't read your full comment because the YouTube emoji button is in the way. I legitimately, there's
I hate
no way
that
for me
too.
to, here we
I
go.
don't know why that heart is there. I really don't understand it.
Oh, sorry. Like how people hate Lance, I hate Landau. I mean, that's extreme. I think a lot of the time we use the word hate too strongly for people that we just dislike and that we just get angry about their fans. I think you dislike their fans, but the use of the word hate I just don't think is needed. I think we're a hate-free community. But with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, Mike, let's ride along, I feel like, with our going to be race winner, I presume, Casey Schutte, unless he bins it. Hopefully he doesn't. A guy you can't hate.
Why don't we ride on with Mason, actually?
That's a really good point.
Let's ride on with our championship winner. A little more. I mean, as much as I'd like to ride on board with both, if I have to pick one, I'll pick the championship. Getting into the GT3s, though? Well, then join the GT3 League, Lizzie. We still got one more race on Sunday. This Sunday, Spa.
We got Spa. That'll be
and
Quinn
Wednesday,
Smith,
West
Ricardo
Coast.
Rivera, I think, right? And Kenneth Portis. Yeah, all three of them still in the championship fight. Go tune into that. That is going to be an excellent race. But as we head into the final sector here for Mason Pierchamski, really, really good stuff from him. Just did everything right. He practiced enough. He put down the right the right laps in qualifying to get himself into the top two.
We got one more lap.
Didn't need to stay there.
I think we're gonna have one more lap. It's gonna be close, unless Casey lifts here. Is he lifting? No, I think we're gonna get another.
Casey would lift.
It's so close. Oh, he's gonna lift. I think he's gonna lift. Casey Schutte takes the checkered. No, he doesn't take the checkered flag. He crosses at 0.
Ooh.
One more lap to go, folks.
We maximized the race time, guys. That's
Come on,
That's how much we
Casey.
like you guys.
Come on.
I think he did lift. I just don't think he lifted enough.
Oh man. Try to get.
Like when you're not finishing, you're saying spaghetti. That's a really good point. That's spaghetti.
It's a point.
Spaghetti. Was that like little kid? You remember that Vine where the kid was like spaghetti and he like threw the whole plate on his face?
Spa spaghetti, so I can mention the Beyonce song during it. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's also a pretty good clip.
Tragic.
An Always Sunny reference? I never watched Always Sunny. Unfortunately, that is not a reference that I get. We do actually have a battle unfolding at the very end here, though it's not a battle that Chronotis necessarily wants to unfold.
It would really be a discolored icing on the cake, I think, for tonight for Chronotis, who's just, unfortunately, not much of a big story other than didn't perform. And it's a matter of it. It's tough. I mean, Chronotis is a very, very good driver, but what happens at Valencia in the dry? What happens if he has more experience? What happens if he has more time to practice? He did practice for this. Actually, I did look at it, just not as much as Mason did. But as we head to the final corner complex, the triple fours, Casey Schutte has unloaded the clip. The 6-shooter in first. He'll get his first win, I believe, of the season, or one of his first wins. Many wins in the GT4 Open. This will be one to crown on to the end here as Justin Beachley will trail in second, but Mason Pierchamski swerving left and right. You see at the back line there. An excellent drive from him. Did everything right tonight. The Camaro America Freedom wins for Trackalicious. The number 10 car with the 24 on the side is absolutely perfect tonight. I think it was just the absolute thing. He did everything right. He did everything he needed to do right. And he will be doing donuts, I think, till the sun comes up, Mike.
Yeah, first-time champion at Trackalicious, Mason Pierchamski, the Garage 56 Eagle Screech. He takes the win overall throughout the entirety of the 7-round championship, and he is going to be elated.
Loud and proud through sleet and hail. What a race from him. And that's just comes down to, I don't know. That just comes down to sometimes having the better luck in the track. And a bit of frustration from Chronotis there, understandably. And Khalil parking next to him to console him, I suppose.
Indeed.
26 car. Had a really good race himself, but join the green room.
Horsey, welcome, joining us right at the very end. Also, JP Reed congratulating Mason in the YouTube chat. You absolutely love to see it. Let's head back to the booth, and let's get some interviews underway. I didn't actually make a graphic for the winner. I forgot to do that, but that's okay.
You have. Well,
I know what I can do. I know.
Is that because we got distracted?
Oh, I didn't put this on the right layer. Hold up. We got to put this on the right layer, and then I can do what I want to do. If I do like that? No. Yes. If I do that, and then there we go. There it is. Mason Perchowski, our winner. We're gonna move Chrono off the screen. Pretend like he doesn't exist. Yeah, stealing.
Should we do Casey first, or?
Yeah. We'll go down and hit Mason last, as he is the championship finisher. Or we can start with Justin.
Yeah. Well, I've got Casey in my hand, so we're gonna do Casey first.
Sounds good. Take it away.
Oh, I missed. Oh no, I didn't. Case. Absolutely great race from you. I think that's the best way for you to end that season, and a very, very fitting one. Not in the championship battle, but fighting it to the end. How did you feel tonight after tonight's race? It was quite the endurance race. It feels like maybe a bit longer than 45 minutes. It probably felt like in that car, especially with what you did at the end. It definitely was longer than 45 minutes.
Yeah, I would have slowed down and tried to not have an extra lap there, but I looked back and Beachley was just a couple seconds behind, so I didn't feel like that was a good move to try to make. But no, it was fun. This series is always super fun. Lots of close racing. Valencia is not my best track by any stretch of the imagination, and I mean Potts was really quick. I don't know if I was going to catch Potts. He had the McLaren working tonight, and I'm not sure what happened for him, but works out in my favor. Yeah, it's unfortunate I couldn't be here for most of the season, but I'm happy for folks like Mason and Chrono that were fighting for that championship run. It's nice to see some new faces getting a chance to get up at the top instead of just Raza and Braze and Fernandez and the usual names. So it was fun, but I get to end on a win. The series has been good to me this year. A couple podiums and had a P6 last night. So all is right with the world.
Awesome.
Some call it fate, some call it a curse, but it's a great finish either way.
Yeah.
Is there anybody you would like to thank, Case, before you depart the booth?
Nah, it just the usual, all the folks here that make it work. You and Mike for sure that put this in, and I know you'll be around, I think, next Sunday, but we're gonna miss having you every race virtually. So no, thank you for being here, jumping in. It's been great having you in the booth and listening to you and Mike and Sagir, and yeah, good luck at out there. I guess go orange, maybe, kind of. So no, look forward to seeing you around down the road, but enjoy your transition to the next phase.
Thank you very much. Your support has been very welcomed in the sport of chat, and the community has been very, very welcomed. Cannot recommend this place enough. Has been an excellent, proving grounds for myself and learning to cast and broadcast better and to try and achieve my dreams. So thank you very much, Case, for your help, and thank you very much, chat and the community, as I also want to put that out there. But we got more cream of the crop here, finishing second place, Mike. I believe you had a really good opportunity.
Before that, sorry, I just removed Casey from the Discord without even saying anything. Either way, that was rude on my part. I wanted to shout out Brian Clemente, because we didn't mention that. Brian Clemente is the rookie race winner tonight, and we had somebody in chat cheering them on, as well as a couple people actually cheering on Brian Clemente. Takes the race win for the red plates, and I just wanted to throw that one out there, so shout out there to Brian Clemente. And takes championship, yes, indeed, massive shout. So congratulations to Brian Clemente for his first ever rookie championship in the Open. Now we move on to Justin Beachley.
Congrats. Yes, massive congrats. And I believe, Mike, you've had a chance to catch up with Justin Beachley.
Yes, indeed. Justin, how is it going? You had a P2 finish here at the final race of the championship. Didn't quite make it in the championship overall. You finished third, I think, at the end of the day, which is nothing to shake a stick at. How does it feel?
Feels pretty good. I mean, all the practice sessions I ran today were like I had 0 pace in this car, so to qualify P5 and then work my way up to P2 is pretty impressive to me. I don't know, I just like found it in the race. But yeah, overall, I think kind of had a couple missed opportunities this year, starting in Olton, kind of losing the race, and then having some mistakes and some incidents later on in the other rounds. But it was good to have a nice clean race tonight. It's been a great season overall. I think there's been a lot of great battles. It would have been great to see Mark and Ollie stay in it, but life happens. So I think with the people that remained, I think we had a great showing. And as manager of the league, it makes me proud to see such clean racing and such close action.
Yeah, and you know what, Justin, I think that's a really good point. And being the manager of the league, is there anything that you would like to say specifically about this league from this, and considering that we are in the finals here, and would you like just to send a message to all of the drivers?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks everybody that has signed up and raced this season in this championship. I believe that this is one of the better ones that we run at TRACKILICIOUS. Little biased just because I'm a manager, but honestly, like since we started in this format, moving to Mondays, strictly GT4 after we did some multi-class stuff there for a bit, I think every season has gotten better. I think a lot of that has to do with the rookie series as well. Those drivers are improving all the time, and once they kind of graduate and are comfortable moving up to the open, like it gets it gets even better every season. So we have like a constant rotation of people in and out, and the competition and the level just doesn't go down, which is really impressive. And the turnout wasn't super high tonight, but this is when we have a full grid or close to a full grid here. I think we have some of the best racing you could possibly see at the TRACKILICIOUS.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Justin. Now, before we move on here tonight, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Everybody, the stewards, the admins, everybody behind the scenes, TRACKILICIOUS, obviously Eric, the boss, everybody that races with us, everybody that watches these streams, appreciate everybody, and, we'll see y'all in September for the next season.
Yes, indeed. Awesome. On that note, Justin, good luck in your next races.
Thanks. Have a good night, guys.
And last but not least, Carson, we have the championship winner. It is none other than Mason Championship Perchowski.
Who would have thought, when I was running 210s at the Nürburgring in the oldest Ferrari because I didn't know the newer cars were faster, that we'd be here today, but, here we are.
Hey, man, Mason Pierchampsky, I want you to run it through us. I want you to talk your talk. How did it feel? How did it feel?
I did my job pretty much in quali, where I put together like a crazy good quali lap, one of my actual better laps given the conditions, and I had like 4/10 in the last corner, and I just kind of threw it away, which kind of allowed me to race a little safe, but I almost got to the point where I felt like I was racing so much not to lose that I was backing up into that like pack behind me. But I was sweating. I'm drenched in sweat. The clock wasn't moving. You guys need to check the clocks in the race because it was not moving. I looked at I swear I did like 10 laps at 25 minutes. It was crazy, but I was nervous, and it was a fun race, and a great battle with Chrono throughout the season. So
yeah, and you guys obviously had a very, very tight battle that conspired for a lot of different reasons, but the last round obviously was very heated in the dry and in the wet. But one thing that I do like to do, this is going a bit long, but I do want to get it because you are Mason Pierchampsky. What got you inspired to start some racing?
It was actually Scott Sullivan. And I just saw Scott blamed me for track conditions in the GT4 Open chat, but it was actually Scott. I played the F1 games, and so that's how I got into racing in general. And then I saw Scott was actually in the Tracky Rookie League, and I just popped in his chat, said a few things, and he's the one that got me to join. And I was running P10 to P20 like every other rookie when they start. So never thought we'd be here actually like fighting for championships. And yeah, I get it that people weren't here, but you know what? Showing up's half the battle sometimes. So I'll take it. It was a consistent season. Didn't have any race wins, but top 5 every race I was there. So we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, utter domination on the score charts. Just consistency was key for you all year. And I guess the goal now, the goal not to go back to back, or is the goal not to win another series? Now I'm curious. Other than Syntho Drive, of course, which I know you want to go dominate.
Yeah, obviously I want to win Syntho Drive, but I think the goal now is to like close the gap to the like absolute demons we have here at Tracky. I'd obviously love to win again next year, but it's going to be competitive, especially if Shooty's there and Roz is there every race. It'll be a lot more competitive, but I'm starting to close the gap, and I just need to find consistency in my race pace because my quality pace is getting better. So.
Yeah, despite all that, you still have the hardware. Don't forget that you did win the championship. Nevertheless, either there. You mentioned showing up's half the battle, and it is half the battle, and you won that battle. Don't discredit yourself at all on that. But, Mason, is there anyone you'd like to thank for this glorious Mason Pure Championship?
I'll have to thank that I don't have a girlfriend to take away from my practice time. That's number one. And then I'll give a big shout out to Chrono, not only for the championship battle, but everything he does on the back end. You guys for announcing, and then Scott for introducing me to Tracky. So, and then obviously Eric, the boss, Kass. So we can never forget him. You guys do so much and make this such an enjoyable experience. So thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Mason. And good luck in your next sessions, and congratulations. Soak it in and enjoy the victory here tonight.
Gonna go pop some champagne, baby.
There you go. That's the plan. Enjoy it, Mason. Enjoy it.
All right, catch you guys later.
Have a good one.
Awesome, and that is going to do it for tonight, folks. That is the broadcast done and dusted. That's the Monday Rookies and GT4 Open Summer Championship to a close. Zipped shut. Championship done and dusted. That is going to be it for this championship, and we'll be moving on to announce new ones this week. Keep an eye on the Discord, !Discord in chat, or head on over to the YouTube description where you can find the link to the Discord and keep up to date with everything Trackilicious. We're going to be posting our leagues very, very shortly. All of the different ones: Wednesday West Coast, Sunday GT3, Monday Rookies, GT4 Open, iRacing as well, if that's something that suits your fancy. Definitely plenty of options here at Trackilicious pretty much every single day of the week. And Carson, before we end it, is there any closing statements that you'd like to have?
Thank you for everything.
Fair enough. Thank you as well to everybody in chat. Thank you everyone to the YouTube side of things for hitting that like button, that subscribe button. It's free over on YouTube in case you were curious. And if you do have Twitch Prime, it's also free on Twitch. Thank you all so much. I hope everyone has a lovely evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. Thank you. And let's raid. Hold on. We're going to raid Low Gain Racing. We're going to have to try that one more time. We're going to raid Low Gain Racing and head on over to his channel. He's wearing a helmet while streaming, something that Carson unfortunately won't be doing Wednesday, but he will be wearing a racing suit. He'll be halfway there, so it's going to be close. In VR as well. But again, let's try that one more time. I hope everyone has a lovely afternoon or morning, wherever you are in this fine world. Thank you, and good night.